Hello everybody and welcome to Spencer Joyce's World. As you can see, I'm doing this intro on my new GoPro, which I'm going to be using to do a lot more vlogging style content on this channel. Here I am presenting to you all of my UK adventures originally presented on Embrace the Suck 21, but now they're all in one cozy little place that you can just throw on in the background and relive the entire thing all at once. So thank you all for coming over to this channel. Hope you enjoy what's coming in the future of this channel. Hit that subscribe button, drop a like on the video, and without further ado, let's take a little walk down memory lane of my first visit to the United Kingdom. Welcome to day 0 of SJ's UK adventure. I am going to be telling y'all about my journey from Greensboro, North Carolina to Washington, D.C., to BWI Airport, to the plane that'll take me from a layover in Iceland to Stansted Airport, London. Right now, I am being chauffeured by my lovely Nana to the Greensboro bus station. Yeah, one of the two. And of course, it starts drizzling a little bit. It's like they know that I'm going to Britain, and the rain has followed me here. Hopefully it doesn't follow me over there. Before we get too far along, I just want to state that these vlogs are intended for 3 groups. 1 are Brits that love seeing Americans react to their own country, which is most of you. 2, Americans, Canadians, anyone who's never been to Britain before and wants to know what to expect. And 3, natives and travelers who have not been to a certain city or country that I've been to and are looking for a little more information on that certain place. When I released my itinerary, a comment I got a lot is, wow, you're doing more things in Britain than I've done in my entire life. So with that in mind, I'm going to include links in the description of every place I go to. That way you can check it out for yourself, and I saved you a quick Google search. I think I made the mistake of getting the 12:30 bus instead of the 8:31. I could have been on my way already. Oh well, live and learn. Hopefully this won't be the case when I'm over in the UK. I'm just waiting a long time. The difference is a lot of places have closed already here in Greensboro, like museums. I mean, there's a few bars that are open, but again, I'm trying to conserve money here. I want to spend it all over there, not here. So it's about 10:15, and I realized I made a rookie mistake in not packing any snacks. Funny thing was, I was trying to save money by not buying anything from a vending machine in the little waiting area that they have here at the train station / bus station. But I figured I'd try and live like one of y'all and just walk to a Chinese place. It's late at night. I might be going into a little bit of a hood area, but you know what? That's usually where the best Chinese food is, so I'm gonna live like one of y'all for now. All this cost me $13. Pretty sure this goes with that. That's grilled sesame chicken, by the way. Pretty sure that's a lame looking salad right there, but oh well. Got my veggies in. Mountain Dew. Yeah, solid 8 out of 10, I'd say. Union Station, DC. I did not sleep a wink last night because 1, I was in a cramped seat. It's very small. And 2, humanity is just not present at all on American buses. People don't know how to use their headphones. They don't know how to have a quiet conversation. So I just chugged a Monster Energy when we stopped outside Richmond and stay up all night. So I'm gonna grab some breakfast here, hop the MARC train, and go to BWI. Go get on my plane. Get out of here, Fred. I will say that even though I don't live in Maryland anymore, Maryland is where we started ETS 21, me and Daniel. So I think it would be criminal to gloss over how significant it is that Maryland is where I am taken off from to go to the UK and to make this journey happen. BWI. I gotta be honest, I don't do a lot of flying, so might need to have a few beers before I get on the plane just to calm my nerves a little bit, but I don't fly that often, so this is part of the whole Americans don't travel that often shtick that I've been harping on. Yeah, the funniest thing just happened. So friend of mine that I'm visiting in London asked me to bring some Reese's Pieces from America, because apparently the UK Reese's Pieces absolutely suck. So at TSA they said don't bring anything to drink in there, or he's put it in the separate bin thing. They didn't say food. They take my bag aside and there's like, come with me, sir. I'm like, is there something in there? And they pulled out the Reese's Pieces I have, and cleared it and tried to see if there was anything dangerous on it. So imagine if I couldn't go to the UK just because a fan wanted some Reese's Pieces. That would have sucked. I'm only the second person here. It is 9 a.m. My flight departs at 6:50 p.m. Guess I should go find a beer or something. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. A rite of passage. It is 9:30 in the morning. I'm drinking an Orange Crush. Life is good. Just want to say a big shout out to It's JPS. Just had a little call with him on WhatsApp, and it was just kind of swapping ideas around, and I asked him a few questions about the UK, and his biggest thing was don't be so loud. I mean, I assume I should be doing it. Typically see comments all the time saying that Dan and I are very loud, or me, I'm mostly loud, not Dan. He can keep it under control. Me, I'm loud and proud, y'all. So that was his biggest thing. And hostels, great for meeting people at the bar, and shout out to him for getting 100K, by the way. Y'all go support him if you haven't already. Boarding the plane, y'all. There's no turning back from here. I should mention also that my fear of flying was quickly quelled as soon as we got up into the air and we're at cruising altitude. It's just the takeoff that made me have to have a few of these beforehand, and a few of these didn't hurt also, and also these little views right here really made it worthwhile. So hit that subscribe button so that I can get over my fear of flying, please and thank you. God, it is weirding me out that it is 5:15 in the morning and it is bright sunny out. That is so weird to me. How do y'all sleep here in Iceland? I can't handle that. It was also during this time that a big volcano was erupting on the island of Iceland, and as you can see, it was still going as we were taking off. I hope all y'all in Iceland are doing alright after that incident. It looked pretty gnarly, not gonna lie. This was my first taste of curry outside the United States. Even though it's good for airline food, as you'll see later in this series, it definitely wasn't the best curry I've had. If you want to see that right now and you've been impatient, the full uncut version of that's on our Patreon. Links in the description. Right there is my first glimpse of the United Kingdom. And as you're about to see, we're going to fly through a bunch of clouds, and that right there gave me indication I'm going to have a very authentic experience my first day here in the UK. So it took a little bit to get through customs because my passport wasn't scanning in that little thing that you scan it through. So I had to actually go to a border customs agent, and luckily I just had to answer a few questions and he waved me on through. So then I hopped on the Stansted Express and made my way to jolly old London. Is this quiet enough for the tube? I've heard you can't really be too loud on there, or most people give you dirty looks. Is this too loud? You'll let me know. Apparently I got the volume part down, but as you'll soon see, I still had a few growing pains when it came to the London Underground. Lord, I tell you, this whole London Underground thing is just getting to me. I don't even remember the New York subway being this hard to figure out, or the DC Metro, but I guess a lot of Londoners are just laughing at me now. Whatever. Even in the States, I live in a country, so we don't do public transit. After that little spat, I eventually did get my bearings on the London Underground, or the tube, or the tube, and how to read the signs, and also standing on the right, walking on the left, and what an Oyster card is. Shout out Kirsty, longtime subscriber, for gifting me my first Oyster card, and was reminded multiple times to mind the gap between the train and the platform. That's so cool. Damn. Right now I'm at the St. John's Wood station waiting on Kirsty, friend of the channel, longtime subscriber. Let her plan the rest of the day since I don't know what the devil to do. I mean, we've gotten plenty of suggestions, but
I'd rather trust a friend, you know?
We ended up going to Borough Market, one of London's oldest and biggest food markets, dating back to the 12th century. Camden Market was on my list, but a lot of y'all informed me that it was very overpriced and a bit more touristy, so I wanted a more authentic experience, so chose this one instead. While this one is a lot of fun, and I would definitely come back to it, as you'll see on the second day of London coming later this week, it wasn't actually my favorite one. Still very nice though.
Creme brulee donut from, is it the Bread Kitchen or the Bread Ahead? Oh, Bread Ahead. It says it right on there.
Oh my god. Dang. That's what's up. I'm making a mess around here. Bread Ahead and the ginger pig right here. Those are my two favorites there. You'll see the sausage roll a little bit later in the vlog, I guess day 2 or day 3. After this, I walked Kirsty back to her tube station, and I thought about doing some sights, but then I decided I wanted to go back and get some more food. Went to the Bath Soft Cheese Company, got myself a nice creamy strawberry milkshake. The dairy was nice and fresh. The strawberry flavor was definitely very present, but it was a little too thin for my liking. I'll give it a 7 out of 10. I'll go back and try their cheeses. Last place I went was this bao place. I got myself a nice fried chicken bao, and my god, it was so good. Juicy, buttery on the inside, crispy, crunchy on the outside. It had this nice sauce. The bao bun gave very nicely, and I loved it. Unfortunately, by this time, the jet lag was starting to catch up.
Oh my god, so much walking. I'm sweating like a pig. Though I've eaten a lot of stuff at Borough Market, and it was all good, but good god, all this walking and my feet are killing me.
In the end, I decided to just go back to my hostel, do some laundry, get a shower, and just go to bed. At first, I thought I was letting a lot of y'all down by not doing so much, but I also knew I had 2.5 weeks ahead of me, so I had to get all the rest that I could. I'm just dubbing over this part because I was 100% delirious and just talking out of my ass, and it was definitely the right call to call it at 7 and to dub over this part.
It's day 2 of the UK journey. I'm currently checked out of my hostel, and I'm heading off the Jubilee line. Finally get that picture off of Abbey Road that I was trying to get yesterday, but I totally just passed out. The jet lag and the general just not being used to walking that much really did a number on me. And I just passed out. And I woke up around midnight, did some laundry, and then went back to sleep for a little bit. Now, like I said, heading down to Abbey Road to get that picture, get a little coffee from that place, and then off to Paddington Station because my train leaves out of there to go to our next stop, Swansea. Something I'm noticing, and I didn't even notice this because I was so delirious yesterday, is not only they drive on the other side of the road, they walk on the other side. That's something I'm gonna have to get used to. Tip for non-Londoners: even if you don't have an Oyster card, if you have Google Pay or Apple Pay on your phone, you can use that and you'll get on the tube and all the public buses just fine. In fact, there's a cap that will limit how much you will spend per one day or per 1 week. I have a link down in the description that explains that a bit better. As we were getting off the tube, somebody was not walking on the left-hand side, and I got all mad, wanted to push them out the way, and then somebody didn't have their Oyster card ready, and I got annoyed with them taking so long to get it out. And I was so mad. Like, am I becoming a Londoner now? Is that normal? Let me know. I'm here to do 2 things: piss off the locals and drink coffee. And I'm all out of coffee. Let's get that picture. Now, obviously, I wouldn't do this again because this is one of those things you just do once and then you don't ever do it again. But see if you do notice one little detail of when I'm walking across. If you're a true Beatles fan, you'll know exactly what I did and why. And just gonna wait on the traffic to clear up again and let some kind soul let me cross again, to be as respectful as possible, even though this is quite annoying to the locals, I know. This walk was John Cleese inspired, even though definitely Basil Fawlty and everyone in the Monty Python Ministry of Silly Walks would rate that very horribly. But hey, feel free to screenshot any of those poses I did, put your best caption on it, and send it to us via DM on Instagram at EmbraceTheSuck21. We may feature you on your page if it's any good. My 15-year-old self that the Beatles won with their own money for the first time is really proud, and every local hates me. Let's go to Swansea. By the way, this channel Oasis built, and y'all didn't tell me about this. Someone dropped the ball here. Let's see how it tastes first. Bottoms up. Fruity. Come on, y'all. Somebody messed up here. It's just really good. I've never seen a train station this busy in the States. Okay, maybe one hand in New York, but that's pretty much it. I found it. Higher. Y'all. Even though the coaches were definitely less expensive, the trains were a lot quicker and helped me fit a lot more activities in throughout the trip. Plus, I used this app called TrainPal. Not a sponsor, but I'll put a link to them in the description. They really helped me find a lot of off-peak train times and some very heavy discounts. I highly recommend them. Observation of train stations, pretty much the same as in America. I mean, there's all the stores like the Marks and Spencer's, the Sainsbury's, and all of them have meal deals, which are really nice. So we don't really, we have discounts on food, stuff like that in the States, but yeah, it's very busy. Haven't really seen that in the States, except in the bigger cities. My first cup of tea in the UK. And no, I'm not doing the milk. I've done it before. It was okay, but I prefer it without it. Sue me. I also appreciate on trains that they have a cart that comes around, as opposed to US train, which only one we really have is Amtrak. They have a dining car that you have to go to in order to get any kind of refreshments. I'm glad, it's pretty nice that they come to you for that. I thought that was just a thing in Harry Potter, but apparently not. That's pretty cool. Throughout this trip on the trains, I did my best to try and capture some of the views that I got, and my god, there were a lot of lush views out the sides of these trains. A lot of y'all were complaining that I probably wasn't going to see a lot of them. You were wrong. God bless UK trains. That's some Thomas the Tank Engine stuff right there. This is a Great Western Railway service to Cardiff Central. I didn't realize this stuff was real. What you doing, Thomas? Working hard or hardly working? This right here is something that I wish American trains would adopt into their own system, so there's no question of, you know, who's sitting where. This is a good system right here. That way there's no question. Then again, Americans can be very rude and just sit wherever. This way there's no question. This is something I'm gonna have to get used to. I don't know what any of this means. Plus, I don't trust none of y'all if you're saying, oh, this is what this means in Welsh. I mean, what's spoiled is seeing this one video of Scotland when someone told an American what minge means and totally misinterpreted it. So, unfortunately, guilty by association, Wales. We'll see, though. This was obviously just a quick stopover in Cardiff to catch a connecting train to Swansea. I'll be back here tomorrow. I think Wales was one of the more beautiful sights, very underrated in the UK. I'll get to that part a bit later in this vlog series, but for now, let's explore our first city, which many of you questioned why I chose this as our first one, but I stand by my decision. Let's go to Swansea. Made it to Swansea, y'all. The movie Twin Town suggests that this is a pretty city. Is it? I'll be the judge of that. Come to my only hotel that I'm going to be staying at for this entire trip. It's the Dragon something here in Swansea. There's my view. I'll look around of what all is here. Aside from like Biscoff and tea and a kettle in the room, there's really not that big of a difference between US and UK hotels. I'll explain more of the little nuances of UK and US homes in the Newcastle episode. Be sure you're subscribed, that way you don't miss that one. First stop was the Swansea Indoor Market, which was voted by the Great British Market Awards 2024 as Britain's best large indoor market. My friend Sam was adamant that I had to get a traditional Welsh cake. And I did. I got 3 regular Welsh cakes and 3 chocolate chip ones. And oh my god, these were heavenly. They're like a cross between a sugar cookie and a pancake.
I could easily down a whole bag of them with a nice cup of tea. I did try this one meat sandwich place, but it was really low quality and I really didn't like it. But I'm a firm believer of promoting what you love instead of bashing what you hate, so I'm not gonna even say which one it was. Instead, I'm gonna tell you about this kick-ass pad thai I had. A theme you'll see throughout this series is that I'm discovering that Asian food in Britain is far superior than Asian food in the US, whether it be Thai, Indian, or Chinese. Why is that the case in Britain? Y'all let me know down below.
Smells like piss around this area. Must be where some parties happen.
Can't say the same about Mumbles. This place was actually quite clean, quite cute, quite quaint, and quite peaceful. I'm gonna let the ocean speak for itself. Took a little bus down from Kingsway to Mumbles. I'm gonna go to Mumbles Pier. Unfortunately, the friend I was gonna meet, her and her husband had some car trouble and their parents, so they had to put the kids first. So no worries, we'll go and have fun anyway. Thank you, Daniel, for helping me be a bit more patient with parents, because if my business partner and brother from another mother was not a parent, I wouldn't have a lot of sympathy, but I do. So thank you for that, Daniel. I find some real beauty in these cliffs right here, being so close to the ocean. It just screams out Wales to me. I'll tell you, when I make it big, I'm buying each and every one of these. You can all go out and sail around Swansea and everywhere else. That's a promise. An empty one, but a promise nonetheless. We are at Mumbles Pier. Obviously, it was a Wednesday, so it was a bit less crowded than it would be if I came on a weekend. But I could see why families come here on weekends, because it's quite a family-friendly place. Ferris wheel, they got an arcade, they got a cafe, they got a pier you can go fishing with, and of course, they've got a chippy. Copperfish takeaway was the site of my first fish and chips in the UK. Of course, I got it with plenty of vinegar, plenty of salt, and a side of tartar sauce, and some brown gravy. I'm not a big fan of peas, so I didn't get mushy peas. Sorry to disappoint anybody who was hopeful that I'd try that. But this fish and chips slapped. The fish was perfectly flaky and juicy on the inside. The batter was perfectly crispy on the outside. Chips were perfectly cooked on the inside, not overly salty. If you know, you know. Tartar sauce complemented the fish perfect, and man, I could drink that brown gravy. It was so good. By the way, I'm a firm believer that in order to enjoy any kind of seafood, particularly fish and chips, you have to be looking right at the sea. I mean, am I wrong to assume that? Having spent half my life in Maryland, pretty much half the state is surrounded by the sea, I've become accustomed to good seafood. I can't travel too far from water and get seafood. That's just how I am. At this point, I was definitely not used to walking so much. Unfortunately, the next segment is not going to make it into any feetfinder.com account. I'm sorry to disappoint.
Oh my lord, yes!
Oh God. My feet are killing me right now. This is amazing. And yes, I took my shoes off. Oh, this walking's killing me. This is much needed, and it's freezing. After I gave my feet some relief, I tucked into my first UK pint at the Pilot of Mumbles. It was here that I discovered that it's not that I don't like ale, it's that I don't like American ale. British ale's far superior. I also like that you don't have to start a tab and go through all that mumbo jumbo. You can just pay for one, have it, and go on your merry way. Then I stopped for a Mr. Whippy at what I've been told is a Swansea institution, aka Joe's Ice Cream Parlor, and I could see why. This had to be some of the best vanilla ice cream I've had in my entire life, and I'm not even joking. And it finally made me understand what the role of a flake actually is. So something I've noticed, particularly in Swansea, and I don't know if this is all of the UK or all of just Wales in general, a lot of stores are really leaning towards cash. Like, all of London was mostly, card and contactless, but they seem to be really pushing cash around here. Cash is king, and like every other store has that. Let me know if is that a regular thing around here? And by the way, Mr. Whippy. My teeth are sensitive. I should have done that. Well, I was just on the most scariest bus ride I've ever had.
Or maybe I'm just being a wuss, but my god, I was hanging on for dear life. Maybe it's just the roads around Mumbles Beach are a bit rougher, but glad I'm walking down. Phone's almost dead. I'm gonna go back to my hotel room, take a shower, and then see if I have energy to go find a pub or something. I also got a lot of messages asking, why are you in Swansea? Why did you even pick Swansea? Well, when I first put out my initial schedule, the biggest criticism I saw was that I'm picking a lot of big cities and not exploring like some hidden gems. And on ETS 21, we give most of our love to England, and then behind that is probably tied between Scotland and Ireland. And we really don't give Wales as much love as they deserve. And of course, I've got Cardiff tomorrow, but I wanted to start with something a little off the beaten path. Go from the most common cliche place in the UK to something you wouldn't expect. From watching Twin Town in the Patreon movie club, that's what I wanted to start with. And figured I'd take a risk. And here I am. I've found a nice little hidden gem between Swansea and Mumbles Beach.
Before I tell you about my night, I have a big question for all y'all. What the hell is Jeremy Clarkson doing hosting Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Seems a little bit beneath him, don't you think? Anyway, I walked down Wine Street, and a lot of the places seem to have type music, which even in my early 20s wasn't my thing. Luckily, I found this little gem, the No Sign Bar, which is exactly what I'm looking for. Something cool, something cozy, somewhere you can actually talk to people, somewhere where they're playing music that I actually like, and definitely somewhere where pints are going to be delicious. I mean, I've never been in a club in the UK, they might be good there. Y'all let me know. Speaking of those pints,
Yo, I'm drunk as right now, and I caved. Don't hate me. I got McDonald's. I needed to go to be sure that I'm good to go for tomorrow. Those British pints are strong. It's like I thought I was drunk in the last little message I gave to y'all, but god damn, it's like getting worse. Holy I don't even know where the I'm supposed to go. Okay, there's my hotel. Okay. We're good. I won't give you the full review of McDonald's UK here, just because I don't think it really fits, but the TLDR is McDonald's, no matter where in the world you are. If for some reason you are interested in that type of thing, I did post a video comparing US and UK McDonald's on my Spencer Joyce Lifestyle, TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. You can go check that out, links down in the description. Well, it is the next morning, and I totally forgot to film an outro for the video last night. I'm having so much fun around here that I keep forgetting that I'm filming vlogs and I need to get the content. But anyway, my final thoughts on Swansea. For a city that calls itself pretty city, I had a lot of fun. It reminds me a lot of Ocean City, Maryland, in a good way. The perception of it is it's basically a redneck town with a beach associated with it. And I'm not calling the people of Swansea all rednecks, but they're very more down to earth than certainly Londoners. But that's kind of a low barrier right there. But I had a lot of fun there. It's a good, quaint beach town with a lot more to offer than meets the eye. Like Wine Alley is a very fun area. I mean, I'm not too big into loud clubs anymore because I really don't have anybody to impress, but I did find a nice quiet no name or no sign bar, whatever that was called, and I really enjoyed that. Also, Mumbles Pier was a lot of fun, just Mumbles in general. For anybody that's on the fence about going to Swansea, I'd say the city that calls itself pretty shitty city isn't really that. I figure by the time I'm done this intro, this cup of tea should be just to my liking. Welcome to day 3 of my UK adventures. It's Cardiff time. I am still kind of recovering from last night. I mean, I'm not hungover, but when y'all was saying that British pints pack a bit of more punch than American pints, y'all were not kidding. But also right now what time is it? It's 6:19 and I've been up for about an hour because the sun comes up a lot earlier in the UK than it does in the US, and it takes a little getting used to. Plus, the seagulls were outside singing the song of their people. I just could not fall back to sleep, so I figured I would just get the day started. There we go. Just like that. I guess I'll put milk in there just because it's in front of me. I'm also partial to this Demerara sugar here as opposed to the regular white sugar. 2 sugars. Stir that up.
Perfect. Breakfast is a pork sausage roll from Borough Market that I've been in my sack for 2 days and is still good. And some Welsh cakes from the Swansea market. When were y'all gonna tell me that these pork sausage rolls are just as good room temperature or even chilled and they are warm? Because this right here is awesome. Now this next part, I was a bit shocked to see that the button that you pressed to cross the street worked so quickly, and I thought that was a whole new discovery of UK having these things work, but it turns out it was just a very slow traffic day, so don't mind me just being a dumb American here. That's why I'm dubbing over this part as opposed to letting you hear what I said. Now here in the Tesco in Swansea is my real first culture shock that is actually something I wasn't expecting. New culture shock unlocked. Buying Monster Energy from a Tesco. Just went out to pay at the self-scanner, and I didn't realize that you needed to be 16 in order to buy Monster Energy here in the UK. Probably in the rest of Europe as well. And that's smart, because that's kind of not good for people, but I need a lot of energy and need something to take my allergy medicine with, because allergies are acting up. After that little surprise there, I hopped the train, got some more of these beautiful views of Wales, and made my way to Cardiff to go to St Fagans Museum, do a little tour of Cardiff Bay, and experience something that is part of modern British culture that winded up being one of the funniest things that ever happened to me throughout this entire trip. So you definitely want to stick around to the end to find out what the heck that was. Alright, Cardiff, here I am. First stop of the day is the St Fagans Museum of Natural History. It was suggested from a few of you when I mentioned I'm going to Beamish in Newcastle, so I'm gonna go there too. Now, a couple things that I'm having a little issue with is one, my hay fever is acting up a little bit. Maybe it's just being in a new country, or maybe it's just how it is in Swansea or just in Wales, but I got some stuff from Tesco, so it's starting to clear up now, so I'm better. And two, the internet's kind of spotty, and when I try and do the whole Google Maps thing, it says it cannot show me the route, which is a bit annoying. I mean, I can guide myself there, but it'll be easier if it just did it for me. First world problem, I know, but anyway, off to St. Fagans. There it is, Principality Stadium in all of its beauty. I had to stop in and acknowledge its existence. As we passed by Principality Stadium once more, I got to thinking about two things. One, in this little segment here, the bus ride was definitely a lot more calm and relaxing, even though the roads were definitely a bit bumpy, but that's to be expected. And two, how the heck did other American Reacts YouTubers who were vlogging their UK trip even enjoy their trip? I'm glad I did it this way because it allowed me to be present in the moment and actually enjoy the trip. No disrespect to the other people who have done this, but I just feel I would be miserable if I had to upload while I was in the UK. Anyway, rant over. Let's talk about St. Fagans now. There's a lot to do around here, so might be just a highlight reel, so alright, a lot of walking ahead of us and a lot of learning, a lot of natural stuff, probably a lot of allergies. Let's go. For these next few minutes, I'm gonna let the clips do the talking. So the TLDR of this is where bacon came from in the 1800s. This is the final resting spot of Porky. R.I.P.
Yes, yeah, it started humbly. They were 70 years in just one room downstairs and one bedroom, really, and then they extended in 1680 into this one, and then lived in 2 rooms and the 2 bedrooms.
Nothing? I see how it is. Look at that. It's ancient Gmail. Oh, that's some straight Peaky Blinders. Yeah, you want to get that smoke. Kind of weird seeing those two around when I'm drinking, but one of the founders of my country said, it was a quote from Ben Franklin, "Beer is just proof that God loves us and wants us to be happy." So Swansea, y'all. Beamish Museum is a lot of fun, getting into all that historical stuff and having a blast doing it. Now we're off to Cardiff Bay. And I'm going to do a little river cruise, or bay cruise, whatever that is. See y'all over there. By the way, one of y'all's getting fired today, cause nobody told me that today was National Fish and Chip Day. And I just got a free one of these over there. Whoever's in charge of that, you're fired. I still love you, though. Nothing quells a spat of sarcastic hangriness like a good old box of fish and chips. Am I right, y'all? After this, I got on the Cardiff cruise. It was a little chilly, but at the same time, I'm a sucker for a good bay cruise, so it's one of those things where I'm just gonna let the clips do the talking.
Please take care coming down the steps, as they are quite steep. We recommend descending backwards. Next to the reserve, you can see boats moored. These belong to members of Cardiff Yacht Club, founded in 1900. Coming down the stairs, as they are quite steep and can be slippery when it has been raining. We recommend descending backwards.
I am definitely doing the tourist thing right now and trying to fit a lot of stuff in. Like, I got off that bay cruise and realized that Cardiff Castle is going to close at 5. It is about 4:15 right now. 10-minute walk. I'll make it just in time. Well, actually, 4:12 is when I get there, so I'll make it just in time. I made it. Cardiff Castle. Only for 45 minutes. Oh, there's a concert going on in here. Alright, so may not get to do much. I'm not gonna do a full tour of it. You gotta buy a ticket for it, and plus my feet are killing me. I'm gonna go check into my hostel. So I get to my hostel and there is a laundry service for it, but it's backed up until tomorrow, so I couldn't wash my stuff. But luckily, so I don't go all funky, I've got these whole shower wipes things that I picked up on Amazon, and I used one of them for the first time, and I feel fresh now. So we can go out and not smell like ass. So thank God for that. I'm gonna, if I remember to do it, I'll put an affiliate link down in the description so y'all can pick up some too. Gotta love it when you come to a hostel and there's a pub downstairs and you meet up with some
elderly blokes over there, and 2 hours has gone by. Now I'm gonna go find something else to get into. I don't know what. First, Greg's sausage roll. Oh, heck yeah. Sausage seasoned great. That pastry, very buttery, gibby. I see why you'll go on about this. 10 out of 10.
Everything was very nice and peaceful up to this point, and then I made the mistake of playing the Weatherspoons game.
So there's this Facebook group called the Weatherspoons Challenge. You post your table and people can like give you drinks and food. I've done everything in Cardiff that I want to do during the day, so I figure this might be the time to try all this. I'm gonna post the Facebook group, just see what happens. Alright, we've uploaded the thing to the Facebook group. Here's what I posted. And let's see if anything comes my way. I'm not ready for this. Oh my god, something came. This shit actually works. Cheers. Tasty. Oh my god, I'm gonna be so messed up by the time this is done. I may have made a mistake here. And there's food too! Oh my god! Oh god, y'all are the best! It's a burger. It'll do. Cheers. Let's stay on for another hour and see what happens. Lord have mercy on my soul. Ooh, I made a mistake. It's gonna be good going down, but goddamn, my liver's gonna hate me. Oh my god, what have I done? Going down. Yes, please, thank you. And then keep coming. Oh my god. Oh, y'all are the best and the worst at the same time. I love y'all and hate y'all at the same time. Oh, goddamn banana. What is wrong with y'all? Alright, some loaded chips here. Get some bacon and cheese on that. I'm getting drunk right now. I love y'all, but y'all. Nom 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 nom. I regret playing this game. I have to try them all. Oh god. Oh, I'm gonna yell at people in the street to come help me take this. Okay, I updated the Facebook post saying that I left, when in reality, I can't take anymore. I just have to power through all this. My liver is gonna hate me. Those UK pints hit a lot differently. Oh my god, here we go.
Again, dubbing over drunk me. Shout out Mohamed, Kara, and Ellie for helping me finish all those pints after I kind of begged them to help me out with them. I guess that's how you make friends in 2024 Britain. Play the Weatherspoons game, you have way too much stuff sent to your table, and then you beg the table next to you to help you finish it. Boom. Friendship. Anyway, Cardiff is a really beautiful city. I wish I had more time in it. Let me know where to go next time I'm in Cardiff. Day 4 of this UK trip. I'm heading back to London today for 2 days, Friday and Saturday. Last night, I made the mistake of playing the Weatherspoons game. A lot of stuff got sent to me. Luckily, made some new friends from trying to get rid of some of the drinks because I just couldn't down all of them. Wound up being a great time. Got me a Tesco meal deal, heading to Cardiff Central to board my train, and I'll see y'all over there. This here was taken moments after I realized the not so great side of UK rail systems. Well, some bad news. First cancellation of a train this whole trip. Luckily, I have a National Express bus that was booked already as a backup. We're good to go. We're gonna get into London a little bit later, but still, I'll get to London no matter what. Of course, the annoying part is I'm gonna have to walk 28 minutes over to Cardiff University to go meet my bus, but you know, it could be worse. I could not have any transportation over to London, so I'm not going to complain too loudly. Complaining really isn't a love language of us Americans. Just putting it out there. Also putting out there that you do not have to book a National Express bus as a backup like I did. I actually wasted a lot of money doing that for each journey I was going to be doing. What you could do instead is get on the next train that's going to your destination. You won't be able to pick your seat, but they'll let you on. And if you're one of the people who commented exactly what I just said before letting the video play, you're probably one of the reasons I didn't do a proper meetup over there. Both the trains and the coaches have their pros and cons. The pro of the coach is that it's cheaper, the con is that it's slower. The pro of the train is that it's quicker, but it's a little more expensive. But again, I was using TrainPal app, it helped me get a lot of off-peak deals, and this was the only time I had to use a coach, so it really just depends on you and your budget and your time.
Back in London, y'all. Oh man, that was a long coach ride. Not gonna complain too much, it's better than not having any transportation at all. But I'm back and I'm awake and ready to do all the touristy stuff that I was trying to get out of the way on Tuesday, but I was too jet lagged to do so. So here we go.
This here is proper tube etiquette. You get on, you either sit down or you take a poll, you look forward, and you pretend nobody else exists. Before doing the touristy things, I decided to go to the east end of London and walk through Canary Wharf, see all these riverboats here, and use that as a path to go to Market Square and go to this nice little pie shop called Maureen's. I've been told that the concept of pie and mash was one of the original types of fast food. All I know is the combination of a buttery, flaky crust, a savory, beefy filling, some creamy mashed taters, and that parsley liquor. I could drink that stuff. This is definitely something that reminds me of southern home cooking back home. This is something I'm definitely getting next time I'm back here. Easily 10 out of 10. No question about that.
It was funny. The lady at the counter at Maureen's pie shop heard my accent and pretty much just assumed I didn't know to put the vinegar and the salt and pepper on the damn thing. I get it. Not every American does their research for 3.5 years like I do, so makes sense. Oh well, I'm not offended by it. It's time to get all that touristy stuff out of the way, once and for all. Just so people can't come at me and say, you didn't do this, you didn't do that. First off, London Eye. Seen it. Probably too expensive to get on it. There we go, we got it. Big Ben. There it is. And I know that's the bell inside, not the actual tower itself. There's no scaffolding on it. So there we go. We saw it. On to the next one. Also, the Houses of Parliament. I hear that's where they make the horsepower sauce. You know? If you know, you know. The whole rest of this bridge is just covered with a bunch of magicians and a busker or two and just people trying to steal your money. Nothing special, really. Anybody that gets in one of those rickshaws is a sucker. Or has way too much money to spend and will spend it on anything. Either way, I don't respect anybody who gets in one of those things. I guess they heard I was coming. By the way, y'all should be proud of me. I went on Westminster Bridge, didn't spend a dime. I was tempted. There were some ice cream stands and some tours that were offered, but cost way too much. I was tempted, but I didn't. In fact, I made money. Westminster Abbey. Completely different Westminster than I'm used to. This looks nothing like Daniel's house. Oh well. Daniel, I'm impressed. You really outdid yourself with your place. And I knew you were a carpenter. I didn't know you had those kind of skills.
If you don't get that joke, it's high time you hit that subscribe button and become part of the community, not just the channel. There's a big difference.
As we approach Buckingham Palace, I just want to say that I did consider getting one of those, Lime scooters, trying to save myself legwork, but I don't know. I just couldn't bring myself to buy one. I'm just becoming cheap, I guess. This should be proof that we don't make a lot of money doing this, and I'm just trying to pinch every penny. There she is. Buckingham Palace. Get a close-up of that thing on the door there, and those things on the door there. Wonder if old King Charles III's in there. Just having a quiet Friday night. Nothing too much. little low-key, you know, maybe Netflix, maybe order in some curry, you know, nothing too much. Ruling over the United Kingdom is a pretty stressful job, I'd say. So you know how back in Swansea, when I went over to the bay and stuck my foot in the water and cooled them down, I really would love to do that right now, but I'm pretty sure that I would probably get arrested for doing it here. I thought y'all had freedom around here. Y'all keep saying that, but can't even stick your feet in the water. You talk about a poker face. That right there. Not even breaking a sweat. Hiccup. Nothing. Give that man a raise. Exactly what my allergies need. More greenery. More grass. And not even the fun kind of grass. So I got a story for y'all. I was on the underground, coming up to my hostel, which I'm at right now. I'll show y'all that in a minute. So this guy gets on this one stop. He sits right next to me. Well, before that, there's this other guy that he said, like, how you doing? And he gave him a newspaper, and which was awkward already because nobody reads newspapers anymore. He sits next to me, and this dude just has way too much energy. It's like a guy that you know might rob you if you don't clutch your pearls. His opening line to me was, "Oh, your hair, it's like a ponytail. It's like the tail of a pony, right?" I was sitting like this, and I just looked over. I was like, I just said nothing. Give him this look for at least like 15 seconds. He's like, "What? You don't speak English or something?" I didn't budge. I just didn't let him have it. And luckily he got off like 2 stops later. But yeah, I thrive in that kind of awkwardness. Don't come at me like that. It ain't gonna go well. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm a lover, not a fighter. I don't want to fight. But if you cross me at all, I'm gonna settle things the Rockingham Canny way, and you don't want to find out what that is.
Big shout out London Backpackers Hostel. That had to be one of the swankiest and most comforting hostels I stayed at throughout my entire trip. And shout out to the lady at the front desk. I can't remember what her name is, but she had to be one of the funniest people I've ever met. I had me dying laughing. Anyway, I'm all washed up, and it's time to go back out onto town for some dinner.
Instead of going to a viral food spot, I'm gonna go to Chinatown instead. I wanna walk around there, see what that's all about. There it is, Chinatown. I'm just gonna get lost in here for a little bit. May never come back.
After walking around Chinatown for quite some time, I finally settled to Tao Tao Ju. Got myself a nice table outside so I could people watch and dine al fresco. And let me tell you something, I don't think I can eat Chinese food in America anymore after this experience. Started with the Chinese hot tea, which, sorry Brits, I think the Chinese tea is far superior. Then came out this nice hot and sour soup, which is a favorite of mine in Chinese places in America, but whatever they did to this one, ooh, it just blew the American version out the water, and it blew my sinuses clear out too. Goodbye, hay fever, at least for a little bit. Then came out the bamboo basket set menu, which is basically a selection of their handmade dim sum items. There were prawn dumplings, Shanghai pork dumplings, siu mai pork and prawn dumplings, roasted pork char sui buns, and scallop and prawn dumplings. Each one better than the last. This goes back to what I was saying about all Asian type foods just being better in Britain than it is in the United States. We've gotten Thai and Chinese okay so far. Indian's coming much later in this vlog series, so be sure you got your notification bell on, that way you don't miss those uploads. Oh, by the way, this Recorderlic cider, total game changer. I know it's not Chinese or British, but my god, I love this stuff. I'm getting it shipped over.
I'm buzzed and I'm full. Tell you what, I can never eat Chinese food in America again. What I had over that place, better than anything I've ever had in America. I grew up as a child with neighbors that were Chinese immigrants and opened up my small North Carolina rural town's first Chinese restaurant. And I got a taste for it then, but I'm sorry. That was beyond this world. And thank God I didn't spend too much today because I'd done blown my budget on that meal. It was worth it though. But don't worry, tomorrow we're gonna drink a lot more. We're gonna do a lot more fun things. You ain't never gonna see a London local in that place. It's just not gonna happen. This video here, that's my souvenir. Can't tell if I'm in New York or London or Tokyo or any other big city. All big cities are the same, just different accents. And yes, before y'all at me in the comments, yes, I know it's Leicester, not Leicester, Leicester, or like something. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, share with your friends. Welcome to day 5 of the UK trip 2024. If you're new here, my name's Spencer. I'm half of Embrace the Suck 21. The other half isn't here because he's got family. Today, I'm gonna meet my friend Lizzie over in Spitalfields Market. I'm gonna start at that Wetherspoons there, which, as y'all know from the Cardiff stop, that did some damage. So, just be sure no cars are coming, but see you over in Spitalfield. How about that?
The first of my 2 snaggles came from when the Northern Line was closed for the weekend for routine repairs and I had to take a bus down, which gave me my first double-decker bus experience. But watch as I explain the second part of my snaggle, which is buried in my explanation of why I didn't do that open mic. FYI guys, I've decided against doing that open mic tonight because, well, one, I'm meeting up with a friend at Spitalfields Market and I was supposed to bring her some goodies from America, and I forgot them in my hostel, and I'm on my way back there right now to go get them, for one. 2, I just feel like I'm in business mode all the time when I'm doing music stuff, and I don't have my guitar with me. And plus, the whole point of the open mic is to win 200 pounds and some studio time, but I'm not going to be able to take advantage of that while I'm here. And 3, there's more to see in London that I want to see before I leave.
Remind me to never mess with Reese's Pieces ever again because they have to be cursed. First of all, with the whole TSA thing, and second, I forgot them at my hostel on my way to meet my friend at Wetherspoons near Liverpool Street. And then I turned around. Mind you that the Northern Line was closed for repair or something like that, so I had to take a bus to go to the Finchley Road tube station, and I got to the Finchley Road station, got on the tube, and then I realized I forgot them, so I had to turn around, back on the bus, go get them, and now here we are. Yeah, Reese's Pieces. That's an enemy of this channel now.
After finally getting to the Wetherspoons, me and Lizzie just walked up to Spitalfields Market, stopping along the way at a few nice sites in London, and she was telling me a lot of stories about how she grew up in London, which I'm a sucker for. I love hearing stories from locals. It really just enriches the experience for me. Where we actually stopped first was Brick Lane Market, which I would consider a real hidden gem of London. It has foods from all over the world. I remember having Chinese, some West African, and a couple other types I can't remember. If anybody is looking at this and is still saying that food in UK is bland, you're wrong. Case closed.
These chocolate covered strawberries, better than anything you can get at Borough Market. This is where you want to go.
Giving away trade secrets.
I'm probably going to ruin it, but oh well.
Next, we went downstairs and checked out the vintage market, which, my god, there were so many different cool t-shirts and just clothes in general. If I had a bigger budget, I would have walked out with half the store. We were actually looking for a new belt for me because it was starting to fall apart, my old one, but we didn't find one. However, I did find something very interesting in there. You see that? What are a bunch of NASCAR things doing in a London market?
So I got a question for Londoners. Why are there so many NASCAR things here? There's a lot of jackets. Like, is it a popular thing here now? Because I know the NASCAR Whelen Euro Series is a thing, and they do one race in the UK. But are y'all into NASCAR now?
Somebody, y'all gotta help me out with that one.
Shout out to some local business here. This was Run Snacks. That Biscoff cake was to die for. Y'all go check them out. And also for the musically inclined, check this out. That beautiful serenation, we went to Old Spitalfields and went to this viral pizza spot called Sud Italia to try their viral pizza portafoglio. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. It was all over my TikTok and Instagram feeds. There's no way I couldn't stop here.
Spitalfields Market. This is the pizza de foldy something. In we go.
Good.
That char is amazing. Everything's fresh. 9 out of 10.
Alright, y'all, just came back from Spitalfields Market. My friend Lizzie gave me a very nice time around there. Shout out Lizzie, that was very nice. Much love. And the pint glass that we've been talking about may or may not have been acquired. I cannot say for legal reasons. But anyway, I briefly went back to the hostel, put my stuff away, got freshened up for a little bit. Next up is the Uber boat. It's a bit of sightseeing around the Thames. If I said that right, I probably didn't.
Before I got on, I had some time to check out both the Tower of London and the Tower Bridge. Not the London Bridge, don't get those two confused. Unfortunately, I got there a little too late to do any proper tours of them, but that was okay. I had a great day out with a friend, which is more important to me than anything else. What's just as important is letting you know that if I'm cringe AF in the next segment, you have to leave a like on the video.
Oh shit, I was taking a video this whole time.
I didn't even plan this next part out. I happened to be there as the Tower Bridge was being drawn and a ship was going past, or a boat, I can't remember what it was. If anybody could be so kind in the comments, please let me know which ship this was and what's its purpose and what's its story. Please and thank you.
Alright, it's coming down now. I have no idea what that was, but that was really cool to see the Tower Bridge coming up and down.
Now, I really shouldn't be sharing this secret with you, but in order to get a good picture of the Tower Bridge, don't take it on the bridge. Instead, go down a horsely old stairs. You will get a much better view. Just be careful going down the stairs and be careful walking down all those rocks. It does get quite treacherous, but it is the best view to get a picture of you with the Tower Bridge.
You know what happens when one TikToker or one Instagrammer shares the perfect location for a video or a photo of Tower Bridge? Everyone and their mother comes down and gets it. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm just saying there's no way to get privacy anywhere around here, especially on a Saturday.
Now let's talk about this Uber boat. This has to be one of the greatest hacks of seeing all the sights in London without killing your feeds or breaking the bank. Fares start at £5.60 and you can use contactless, Oyster, buy it at the Pier, or book it on the Uber app. Uber's actually doing a lot of transportation stuff in the UK. They're even booking trains now, but that's another video. Anyway, I'm gonna let these clips speak for themselves.
Wow, I could have just taken an Uber boat and shown you London Eye, the Big Ben container, and the Houses of Parliament, and gotten a lot more out of it. But oh well, we live and learn. Man, that is pretty right there. Happy Pride Month, y'all. Love is love. Y'all means all. Now this is a much better angle than what I got earlier. Look at it. Reminds me I need to pick up some horsepower sauce before I leave this country. Run like the wind, bullseye. Oh. Now it's back to the slow part. Holy shit, y'all. Over on the other side of this boat, there's this one, like, dumb American that's just like, can you guys tell when someone's American? Dude, I just wanted to smack her so badly. Although, I'm a lover, not a fighter. I'm just saying, y'all are making us look bad over here. We want to be welcomed back.
Alright, last stop in London. It's this viral food spot I found on TikTok. It's called Swiss Butter. Do a 19-pound steak dinner. Sign me up.
And for that 19-pound, you get a choice of beef fillet, ribeye, chicken breast, or salmon smothered in their secret Swiss butter sauce. It comes with a salad, a baguette, chili flakes, and your choice of fries or baked potato. Pints and dessert cost extra, but boy was it worth it. Steak was perfectly seasoned, cooked medium rare, the Swiss butter was to die for, and the sides were hitting on all cylinders. Don't walk, run to Swiss butter.
I mean, come on. 26-pound 40 for steak, bread, chips, salad, and a lager. I don't think you could beat that. So as I'm leaving London, let me just give my final thoughts about the city. It's a big city. It's just like any other big city, like New York City. I keep referring to that because I've been to New York 8 times. There's unlimited fun you can have here. There's unlimited history, unlimited food, unlimited people. Tomorrow, we leave out of King's Cross Station to go up to Glasgow. So, makes a lot of sense. But anyway, I think someone's trying to troll me because of I'm vlogging right now, but whatever. Welcome to day 6, I believe, of the UK trip. I'm catching a train from King's Cross Station in London all the way up to Glasgow in Scotland. Those of y'all watching probably already knew that, but hey, it's something that we have to say. So I've got a long train ride from King's Cross Station. I have a stopover in Edinburgh, 15-minute changeover over to Glasgow. Got that mural walk, and my first Sunday roast is going to be up there too. And just after watching the Parts Unknown Anthony Bourdain episode, it just seemed like my kind of people up there. That's why I chose Glasgow over Edinburgh. I mean, I could be wrong about that. I think we're about to find out. It's like right at the end of the last one and the beginning of this one, people are starting to troll me for vlogging, but whatever. At least I'm living rent-free in their heads, which is a good thing. Anyway, y'all, see y'all in Glasgow.
Before leaving out of London, you know I couldn't pass by King's Cross Station and not do one little thing as a lifelong Harry Potter fan. And yes, I committed to the bit.
Holy crap, I'm gonna be late for Hogwarts. I guess I'm a muggle after all.
After that stunt that was both physically painful and mentally painful in confirming that I am indeed a nomad, I tucked into a nice steak bake from Greg's and a cup of tea, and then boarded my train from a platform that did not have a fraction in it. This was my longest train ride of the entire journey, and I was hoping that it would pass by the Lake District, that way I can tick that box off for all those people that were criticizing me for not even visiting it. Probably the same people that are criticizing me choosing Glasgow over Edinburgh. I don't understand why y'all are acting like I'm not gonna come back over. I do plan on doing that in 2025. In the meantime, if you want to expedite that process, hit that subscribe button, drop a like on the video. That way this video goes out to more people, we can fund another one of these adventures. That way we won't have to see most of the UK through trains, which I gotta tell you was one of my favorite parts of the entire trip, was seeing all these beautiful countryside parts, as well as some cities, as well as some oceanside.
So first of all, Northern England and Scotland, beautiful. That train ride, saw a lot of great views from the outside of the train. And 2, for all y'all giving me shit for choosing Glasgow over Edinburgh, Taylor Swift's playing tonight. And no disrespect to Taylor Swift or Edinburgh, but not my thing. Glasgow's more my thing. So for all y'all giving me shit for that, that's my story. I'm sticking to it. Let's see you in Glasgow.
Remind me next time to check if an international pop star with a cult-like following is playing in a certain country that I'm visiting, because as you'll see later on in this vlog series, Taylor Swift interrupted my travels not once, but twice. I don't really follow Taylor Swift, so I had no idea she was coming around the time that I was coming. I think somebody dropped the ball when it came to alerting me of that. You had no problem telling me about the Euros happening, but Taylor Swift, crickets. Anyway, enough rants. I made it to Glasgow and was greeted to my surprise by a bicycle race. I was really confused.
So I've encountered both Swifties and bicyclists. Like, what the hell's going on, Glasgow? Did I miss some memo?
Also, shout out to Revolver Hotel. This had to be the swankiest hostel I've ever stayed at in terms of amenities, beds, the design, and the people. More on that later.
FYI, I lost the one hair tie I bought to this country. So, until I go buy some more, it's Fabio time.
My next stop was the Bothy, which is an award-winning restaurant specializing in traditional Scottish fare. Had to start out with a honey old-fashioned, cause Scotland, whiskey, no question it's gonna be smooth and tasty, and gosh darn it, it was. Of course, the main event was the Sunday roast. This was my only Sunday to get the Sunday roast because next Sunday was gonna be Liam Gallagher in Manchester. They gave you a choice of a starter of either a fish cake, haggis bonbons, or what I chose, which was the seasonal vegetable soup, which was potato leek soup. This thing was delicious. Very creamy, very potato-y, seasoned perfectly. I would highly recommend it. Goes to show their dedication to using fresh local produce, which also is the case for this Sunday roast. You get a choice between some pork loin, roasted cauliflower steak for our vegetarian vegan friends, or what I got, which is the roast beef strip loin, served nice, pink medium rare, just how I like it. You get that all covered with gravy, with Yorkshire puddings, garlic and thyme roasted roots, and some duck fat roasted potatoes, which, by the way, were perfectly salted. If you know, you know. But in all seriousness, this was perfect. Everything was just succulent, savory, and made for a good lining of your stomach for all the alcohol that was going to be consumed later that night, as well as this sticky toffee pudding. Someone told me that only tourists eat sticky toffee pudding, but I don't care. This thing was caramelly, it was complex, not too sweet. Overall, this meal cost me just over 50 pounds. Totally worth it. Even though I was properly full from all the Sunday roast, I was not done eating. Had to stop by this one place in honor of Anthony Bourdain.
To Anthony Bourdain.
Now, if I had not been full off of that Sunday roast, what I would have gotten was the Bourdain special, which was battered fish, battered haggis, chips, side of curry sauce, and some iron brew, which he called really one of life's great pleasures in the one episode of Parts Unknown where he went to Glasgow. We reacted to it on this channel. It will be linked at the end of this video, and it was the direct inspiration to why I chose Glasgow for this trip. Luckily, it didn't stop me and my newfound New Zealander friend Adam from finding some haggis on our night of drunken shenanigans. Watch.
Oh shit.
What?
Okay.
Okay, ready?
Alright, you ready?
Yeah. Go, 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 go.
Alright. This is we've been out just doing our thing this whole night. This is my first time trying haggis ever. This thing is way too small. I'm just gonna don't you get any ideas here.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
Okay.
Yeah. It's pretty good. This is pretty good.
Very good.
Yeah?
Interesting texture there.
Yeah. It's like couscous.
Yeah, yeah. It's very beefy though.
Yeah, it's real like meaty. Like real fatty, yeah, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like you can only eat that and nothing else.
Pretty much. I give it an 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10?
Yeah.
Whoa, nice.
Alright.
Yeah.
We got it in review.
A lot of the night I didn't film, this was me back at the hostel after our shenanigans, but the TLDR is, we pre-gamed a lot because we thought we were gonna go do karaoke at Horseshoe Bar, but we ended up doing that the next night. You'll see that on the next vlog, and due to Adam's faux pas of fashion and the both of us being a little too intoxicated after pre-gaming, we weren't allowed in a few other bars. We made the most of it though. I don't know how, I don't remember how, but we did. So much so that I missed my train to Inverness the next morning, so you're gonna get another dose of Glasgow.
Welcome to day 7, is it, of the UK trip? Yeah. The original plan was to be in Inverness today, see Loch Ness and all the places there, but guess who missed their train? This guy. Because I drank way too much alcohol last night. What happened was, after I got back from seeing, University Cafe and all that, and I forgot to mention that the inner loop got canceled. I had to take the outer loop. It was a bit confusing, but I was hurting after that. But then my buddy, shout out to Adam from New Zealand, suggested we pregame at the hostel, and then afterwards me and another buddy from England, we went out bar hopping a little bit. We got so messed up and we weren't allowed in a few bars because he had some track pants that had some weird design on it. Or maybe that was just them telling us we were way too drunk, but the alcohol in combination with the tiredness just made it so I slept through all my alarms. But anyway, we'll do another day in Glasgow.
Of course, how can you start any day in the UK without a bit of Greg's? I tried the chicken bake, the jelly-filled donut, and a bit of whatever coffee drink that was. I can't remember, but I don't think I liked it as much as the steak bake, but that's okay. But that jelly rolled donut was definitely a discovery. Plus, the coffee was okay. I prefer tea in the UK. I'm starting to become one of y'all. Help me. Just kidding. I love it here. Anyway, I had a lot of choices of what I wanted to do today. I wanted to go to see Ibrox Stadium and Celtic Stadium and make each club mad for a millisecond too long at the other person's club. So I decided against doing that. I also thought about walking around Glasgow University for their Harry Potter type architecture, but I instead decided to do the Glasgow mural walk, which I think is a real hidden gem of this city. I'm just gonna let these murals do the talking. That's nuts. Absolute legend, Billy Connolly. Pause to read. Pause to read.
This right here is one of the bars that me and my New Zealand buddy tried to get into, but we were a little too intoxicated, and he had his colorful pants, and it wasn't allowed in to a couple other places. But that wasn't the issue here. But I wanted to go here because it was it's the oldest pub in Glasgow, and this is where Billy Connolly got his start. So had a nice little time in there. A pint and a shot. Very tasty, very tasty.
This had to be one of the coolest places I've been to in all of this trip. It's like a step back in time. It helps that the ale and the whiskey were quite tasty. I mean, we've already established it's the American ales that I don't like. Ales over here are far superior. Plus, the whiskey, come on. How do you go to Scotland and not get good whiskey? Of course, by this time, as you might suspect, with all that walking and that whiskey and pint in me, I was getting a little bit hungry. So where did I go? Shawarma King. This was voted Scotland's best kebab house for the past 3 years, and one bite, I could immediately see why. The mixed shawarma wrap with lamb and chicken pieces that I asked for hummus inside, by the way, it was easily the best thing I had the entire trip. The queue was long for a reason, and paired with a wee iron brew, I honestly don't know how you do better than this.
Best thing I've had this trip. So something I've just come to the realization of, it's a bit of a mistake on my part. You know, the length of this trip and the fact that there's only like 2 or 3 days in every city, or maybe more, like 1 or 2. It's kind of the opposite of what we pride ourselves on being able to do when it comes to Americans checking out UK stuff, is lumping England, Wales, and Scotland into one. Because I was thinking about it, I was thinking when I go to Ireland later this year, the whole, excuse me. Sorry, this warm is really good. But anyway, when I'm going to Ireland, my whole thought process of making that its own thing was, in my mind, I thought it deserved its own trip. But I'm quickly realizing that England, Wales, and Scotland all deserve their own trips as well. Going forward, I'm hoping that I can make time for each and every one of the countries. Just give them breathing room in all of my time. Again, if these vlogs do well, that won't be a problem. So that's just a fast thought right now. Let me know what y'all think.
Also, shout out to Bare Bones Chocolate right next to Shawarma King. Best hot cocoa I have had in a minute. Also, Daniel's wife Holly requested that I bring back some chocolate from the UK. This is where I source it from, Holly. You're getting the good stuff.
Oh yeah, here's the British weather. A little bit of drizzle of rain just out of nowhere. It's almost like a Florida shower, except it's cold. Like the anti-Florida shower. But it's okay. Because when a lot of y'all were saying, you know, watch out for the British weather, you know, rain all the time, I was thinking like torrential downpour. This little sprinkle, that ain't nothing.
Certainly not enough to discourage me from continuing on the mural tour of Glasgow. Again, I'm gonna let these next few clips do the talking.
Oh man, that is so much smoother than the US product. Then again, I'm not in Ireland, so maybe it's like that. Then again, Liverpool has a good Irish community. I'll find out then. This one has to be my favorite so far. Yes, today we're in love, aren't we? With the whole splintering city. Alright, that will conclude my walk of the Glasgow mural walk. I am, my feet are killing me and need to be sure my phone has some juice for tonight. That's right. I love this city. But anyway, I'm going to put a link to that Google Maps thing with all the murals on it in the description. If y'all want to go do it yourselves, along with everything else that I do throughout all the vlogs, it'll be down in the description what I've done. Holy shit. Where all these pigeons come from? Get out of here, Fred. Get out of here. Go on now, get. I give up. Oh my god. Shoot! 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 Whatever.
As I show you my second Tesco meal deal, I must state that all pigeons and seagulls are to be referred to as Fred going forward. I do not make the rules, I just enforce them. If you agree to this, you must comment below, "Get out of here, Fred." Thank you for your cooperation. Unfortunately, I have to mute the rest of this due to copyright, but if you want to see my full rendition of Tennessee Whiskey from this karaoke night, you can go to my page, Spencer Joyce Music, and you'll find it there. As well as my new single, The First Day. You're listening to the instrumental of it right now. You can either scan the Spotify code that's on the top right of your screen and listen to it on Spotify, or click the link down in the description to find it there as well. After I did my rendition of Tennessee Whiskey, I'll just say that this night turned out to be one of the greatest nights of the entire trip. And I can't tell you everything that happened because, one, I want this channel to stay monetized, and two, that gentleman does not kiss and tell. We'll just leave it there.
Well, all you need to know about karaoke last night is that it is 5:45 and I'm in the morning and I'm just now getting back to the hostel. I'm on 2 hours of sleep right now and I'm gonna sleep on a train. So I just want to share some final thoughts before we wrap up our time in Scotland. I think the Scottish people are some of the most down-to-earth, easy to talk to, funniest people I've ever met. If you are no-nonsense person, it's okay to have a point of view, but not an agenda. And that's what I strive to be. Not to have an agenda, but to have a point of view. If you don't take yourself too seriously, Scotland will be a good place for you. Like, you make a friend with a Scot, you have made a friend for life. I may not go that far because I've only seen Glasgow and then also 2 hours at Edinburgh train station, but my gut feeling is you could call at least Glasgow a new city of love. I mean, it gets a bad reputation for a lot of stuff that happened a few decades ago, but it's really not that way anymore. I felt really safe walking around the city. Let me know what y'all think. This is day 8 of the trip. I always start these ones, not even know what day it is of the trip. Heading to Glasgow Central Station, and hop a train from there to Newcastle. Today we're gonna go to the Beamish Museum and become acclimated with the dogs I'm gonna be looking after for the next couple days in Newcastle. For those of y'all nosy, it's currently 6:17 a.m. and I'm running on about 2 hours of sleep right now. After karaoke, it was a rock and roll night, let's just put it that way. And a gentleman does not kiss and tell.
So you know how there's some people that could fall asleep on trains and planes? I'm not one of those people. If you are able to do that, please let me know your secrets, put them in the comments below, because that was my hope, is that I was going to fall asleep on the train to make up for all the partying I did the night before, but I just couldn't. 1, because these great views out the window here that I just cannot pass up, and 2, I just can't do it. Totally worth it though. What really saved me was this Cornish pasty I got from the pasty shop here at Edinburgh train station. I can already see the comments. You should have gone to Cornwall and gone the real one. Well, with that kind of attitude, I won't go, so be nice and be sure you got your notification bell. That way I will go down there next year, because I would go for this alone. It was like a hearty beef stew to go, and that crust was delectable. After that much needed pick-me-up alongside a Mars bar and a Coke, I hopped the train and went down to Newcastle, actually to Chesterless Street, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, and then walked through town a little bit and got to my bus station to go to the Beamish Museum.
Another dreary northern day. Perfect day to go on a walking, living museum tour. So I was on the train, like right as I was coming from Newcastle to Chesterley Street, and right next to me was this lady that had a little puppy with her. That was like the most cheerful thing about her. And the other part was, I think she was on the phone with her boyfriend or husband or whatever, just chewing him out for how much of an asshole he was, how lazy he was, how he doesn't contribute around the house, and the accent that she was speaking with. I was just like, okay, look at your phone, don't engage. Because there was a time that I was a little too empathetic to people like that, and I let them tell their story, and I'm like, I need somewhere to go. I'll just learn to just not engage.
A short bus ride later, and I was at Beamish, the Living Museum of the North. This open-air museum documents life in Northeast England during the 1820s, 1900s, 1940s, and 1950s. The yearly pass for an adult is just under £28, and for seniors and students, it's £21.25. £17.25 for children, and there are family packages as well, and the good thing is they are all good for 1 year. You can go as often as you like. More details in the link in the description. I'm gonna let these clips do the talking.
They're doing construction over there. No way to go in for a pint.
Oh well. Even though I walked all the way up those stairs where that lady's coming from. It would be nice right now, but we'll find one.
That's fine, thank you.
You pay for that part.
Pony? Hi, Pony. Hey, buddy. Are you not a pony? Yeah. Oh well. Alright, y'all, finished up Beamish. It's a really cool place. Good to learn a lot of history of Northern England and the rest of the UK as well. Had a good time and waiting on the couple I'm dog sitting for to come pick me up here. I'll get acclimated with the dogs and be able to actually rest for a little bit instead of being in hostels. It'll be nice.
Shortly afterwards, Dave and Sarah picked me up. We stopped off at the local store and picked up a pack of Stella and got to know each other and the dogs and had a good old night, drank the night away. Tune in tomorrow to see those dogs as well as my take on a UK home and the northern part of the Newcastle area.
Welcome to day 9 of the UK trip. I'm still in Newcastle upon Tyne. Last night, after being picked up from Beamish by David and Sarah, we had a few of these Stellas and got a little crazy. I guess the tiredness just kind of caught up to me, but had the best sleep of my life. And currently watching these dogs. Look at them. That's Hunter, Buffy. These two I can't remember the name of off the top of my head. I'll put it somewhere above their heads. But these are my friends for the next 2 days. And a friend of mine, Showboat, is going to be chauffeuring me around. And yeah, we'll check out some places in Newcastle over the next 2 days. In addition to showing you all the things that was shocked by coming to the UK as a US citizen in terms of homes.
Hot tub time. Oh, this is doing so good on my back and my feet. This is exactly what the doctor ordered. I don't even know if y'all can hear me, but trust me, you're not gonna see my naked body. I don't do that for free, by the way. You're gonna have to pay a break. Pint counts 31. Cheers, you sexy sons of bitches. Oh shit! That was a fail. Alexa, play Give Me Shelter by the Rolling Stones.
After that doggone funny performance and chilling out in the hot tub for a little bit more, Showboat came pick me up around 4:30 that afternoon, and we explored the North Shields Tynemouth area. I hope I'm getting that correct. I'm sure you've already corrected me if I've not. But anyway, I'm gonna let the clips talk. Enjoy.
That's the coast.
North Sea.
Very nice. Make for some good B-roll. Those wind turbines.
Yeah.
I've seen so many of them in the UK. We have them in the States, but it's really the more like in California. That's
Right.
where they're more prevalent.
And on a humorous note, this is a known place for dogging.
All right.
I was going to try and mess with you as
Look at that. Heck yeah.
They've shut down the clubs, shut down the pubs. Now it's more like a out people's home, you know, like a retirement town sort of thing.
Oh yeah, retirement community.
Yeah, they've done it up. I mean, they've spent money on it now, but for years it just got left to shit.
Man, that's a shame. Yeah.
You see in the distance.
Oh yeah.
That's where we're heading.
Very nice.
See if you can spot the guys off Pulp Fiction on the wall.
I'm looking.
The Lego man.
Yep, there it is. There it is. Man, they took that a bit wide, didn't they?
Oh. Norway. That sort of thing.
Okay.
Scandinavia.
Nice. South Shores?
South Shields.
South Shields, okay.
Something that's the North Shields.
Oh, okay. Okay. He's more from this way.
Not really nice.
Like very, hipsterified.
Yeah, but sometimes you'll come down here in the summer and it feels like you're on holiday. Like, it feels like you're in the middle of the Mediterranean or something, because it's just got a weird vibe about it.
You can see that. You can see that contrast right there. It is quite a contrast.
Oh, that was it. There was a black bloke did that.
Oh yeah.
Weatherspoons tried the Weatherspoons game, and he was like, "Can people stop sending this bananas? It's very racist."
Yes. 1657, man. That right there is Sam Fender's. What award was it?
Brit Award.
The Brit Award. Alright, y'all, I'm back from a little day trip around the north part of the Newcastle area. Shout out to Showboat for giving me a nice little tour of the area. I've been to a pub that Sam Fender's Brit Award is part of the pint there. Experienced my first snooker table, snooker, whatever. Y'all just gonna have to deal with how I pronounce it, alright? By the way, y'all, I just want to let y'all know that this whole stay right here was made possible by TrustedHouseSitters.com. I'm not sponsored by them. I'm just letting y'all know what was able to make this possible. If you're a pet lover and you like traveling around the world, TrustedHouseSitters.com has a lot of great sits that you can apply for. There is an affiliate link down below if y'all want to check that out. Get 25% off of your subscription. I get a little kickback from it as well. I'll fully admit that. So if you're a traveler and a pet lover, go check out TrustedHouseSitters.com. Link down below. So I decided to have a quiet night in. I'm trying out Deliveroo for the first time and also trying out Fat Hippo for the first time. It's been shown a couple times that it's apparently a great American-style burger joint in the north. I just have to see how it compares to what we do best,
over in my country. With that in mind, I just wanted to go through a lot of things that I've noticed in a UK home that are big culture shocks to me as an American. So let me just take you through this house. I mean, I'm not going to show everything because I don't want to show too much of this house, at least the couple that I'm staying with. We'll let you see the dogs again. Hi, Maya. How you doing, baby? Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah, this is Buffy, the shy one.
That one's Crystal, the deaf one.
Oh, now you're getting all excited about me, huh? That one is Hunter, the big loud one. Alright, so the obvious one, the plugs. I'm not used to having power that you actually have to turn on, so this part right here, that was the biggest culture shock. So right now, it's off, my adapter, to charge my stuff, but you actually have to turn it on in order to get it to charge. I'm glad I haven't made that mistake yet. Also, the fact that this clothes washer is in the kitchen. That is a big culture shock. Usually in American homes, there's a room that is separate for laundry. My Nana's house, our clothes washer is in the bathroom, or washroom as y'all say. Also, there is not a clothes dryer here. You actually have to hang up your clothes in order to dry them, either on a clothes line pin or something like that, or a central heating, which obviously it's summertime, so there's not any heating currently. Also with the ovens, obviously because I'm American, I'm used to Fahrenheit. The fact that there's Celsius here, that threw me off a little bit. And also there's like several settings on an oven. There's like the top grill, which is the broiler, we have that, and then, you know, convection oven, we have that as well. And I don't know what these other two are, I didn't bother with them. The designs of these refrigerators and all the cabinets here, those threw me for a bit of a loop. Y'all let me know, is this a typical design in the UK? Because this pulled out, we have this type of thing in the States as well. Central heating. I'm assuming because it is the summertime, the central heating is not a thing right now, but this little thing, I guess this is what turns it on. I mean, I don't know too much. Y'all gotta help me out with that one. With showers, this head here in an American shower would be attached to it. Like, you wouldn't be able to pull it off of there in order to, you know, wash your hair, wash your back. That's definitely something I noticed. And also, I'll try and angle this so you can't see it, but toilets. Usually you see these type of buttons out and about at stores, at restaurants, so you don't really see this button and push one button for number one, push another button for number two, and you actually have to like push it down in certain places in order for it to properly flush too. So that's just something I've noticed as well. Y'all let me know, is this normal? And this back here, y'all call this a garden. We call it a yard. We would only call it a garden if you had like plants out here. Other than if there's no plants, there's no flowers or, you know, tomatoes or any other fruit and vegetable that you're growing, it's a yard. Here, you call it a garden no matter what's back here. Other than that, you know, there really isn't that big of a difference between a US home and a UK home. There's just certain little nuances, but other than that, same shit, different animal. Alright, I've ordered Deliveroo for the first time ever, and what I got was Fat Hippo. I'm gonna open this up and see how it compares to what I perceive as the better product in the United States, but we'll see that. Look who's come around. I know, you smell it. Holy shit, these are American portions here. Except for the actual burger. I got a Yankee burger, which is basically, you know, your standard beef patty, American cheese, ketchup, mustard, pickles. And this right here, that's a buffalo burger. I don't know what the exact name is. This is a portion of chips and purple slaw and Coca-Cola. Let's see how it stacks up. It's a burger. Although it's a bit beefier, I will say that. You could actually taste beef here, which with a McDonald's burger or a Burger King burger, you really don't get that. But I don't know, it's still a burger, so I give it 8 out of 10. Now, I got some beef with y'all, pardon the pun. This is a chicken sandwich. It's not a burger. If you were to ask for a chicken burger in the States, what you would receive is a patty that's made up of ground up chicken or minced chicken, as opposed to a piece of buttermilk chicken.
but still looks good, and I'll judge it objectively, even though it's not a freaking burger. I mean, this is supposed to be a buffalo burger, but I've been in the UK way too long. I'm calling it a burger now. Damn it! I'm not really getting a lot of spice from it. I mean, not burn your damn mouth off, but it's probably the British palate. But I'd say it's solid. I'll give it 6 out of 10 just because I'm missing that, you know, red punch burn your damn mouth thing. But I'd say it's solid. The coleslaw is pretty damn good. It's a juicy piece of chicken too. I'll give it points for all of that.
After that delicious meal, I went out in the back garden and recorded a few music videos with the guitar that Sarah had in her office. Thank you for letting me borrow it, Sarah. You can find all those videos on my page, Spencer Joyce Music. There are 2 originals and 3 covers. Hope y'all enjoy them. I know this wasn't the typical vlog that I've been putting out these past 2 weeks, but I needed this to help recover from all the walking I've been doing and staying in hostels. Plus, this was a fact-finding mission of UK culture, so it fits in with this vlog series.
Hey, Maya. Oh, now you're getting all shy. Look at me. Maya. Just chilling with me, having a pint and a Coke. Good morning, y'all. Welcome to, is it day 10, I want to say, of the UK vlog? Now she's all just curled up right there. Look at you. Look at you. She'll cuddle with me, unlike that one. That's right, Buffy. Just walk away. Anyway, today's agenda. I'm gonna go meet with a longtime subscriber of the channel that, well, I don't know how to say this, but I won't be filming. Later tonight, we'll explore the actual proper tune that is Newcastle upon Tyne. My liver's gonna hate me. Good thing I've had a day to kind of recover from all of that, even though this is my breakfast right here. And that's the tip for Brits going to another country, particularly the United States. Have a soft drink alongside a hard drink if it's before, say, noon. The more you know. The more Spencer lies. Say hi, Maya. Hi, Maya. Oh, biggest snuggle. Snuggle buddy. And like this one, always walks away. See, look what I do. See? She always walks away. Does that with everybody. I have the Maya here. Oh, good snuggle buddy. These 2 are also good snuggle buddies when they're around. This one barks a lot though. This one's quiet as a mouse. Hit that right, Hunter. Hit that right, Crystal. You can't even hear me.
Around 11, my trusty friend Shobo came, picked me up, and took me to County Durham to meet my friend Thea, who has been a longtime subscriber of this channel, and we had about a 3-hour deep, meaningful conversation, and it's a conversation that I will deeply cherish for the rest of my days. Words cannot describe how much that meant to me. Certainly can't explain it in an 8-minute YouTube video. Afterwards, Shopo decided to take me the long way around back to the place I was staying, which included a visit to the Angel of the North in Gateshead. This is the only pose I had where I didn't look like a complete douchebag. Wide open.
Sort of like this way you need to be looking as well, bridges and stuff.
Yeah. Well, that's right. You know, go back into tune after I feed the dogs. I'll be able to see it better. All them tasty sausage rolls. Stick bakes and everything else. Alright, y'all, welcome to the bus station to go into Tune, as y'all say in Newcastle, in this area. I want to recap just what happened to me today. I went to go visit a longtime subscriber, Thea, and you know, we just sat and had tea for about 2-3 hours, had very deep conversations about everything, and it was kind of moving, you know? I love hearing stories from folks that have not only been here all this time and have stories of their upbringing around here, but also, you know, how they found the channel and how it helped them through rough times. I mean, granted, you helped yourself through all those times. Give yourself credit if you're in that boat. But knowing that
that we helped you out through that is really heartwarming. And then also she sent me back with a big old bag of goodies, and I don't know how I'm gonna carry them through all the rest of this trip, but I guess I gotta eat my way through them. But that's cool. And then also you saw some other sites that Showboat showed me around too. Shout out to him. It's great to hear his story as well. Okay, slight change of plans. I'm not gonna walk up to the bus. I'm actually gonna call a Bolt going to town that way. First stop is gonna be Parmorama. Y'all been saying in Newcastle that's like y'all's dish that y'all really enjoy around there, so I'm gonna give that a try. And then a nice couple that I'm staying with suggested a rock bar called Trillions, and then I found on my own a karaoke bar. So let's just say the karaoke bars have been very nice to me this whole trip, so that's what we're gonna do.
Simple review of Bolt. It's basically the same as Uber and Lyft, although I think Uber has a bit more reach and accessibility. And you probably thought we were going to get out of food reviews. Nope, you're wrong. Here's Parmorama. In addition to being some of the sweetest people I've met in this entire trip, this had to be one of the best food items I've consumed this entire trip. I got the proper Parma, which is a panko breaded chicken breast topped with their bechamel sauce and melted cheese, served with fries, slaw, and garlic mayo. It was juicy, crispy, cheesy, creamy, all at the same time. Don't walk, run to Parmorama next time you're in the Newcastle area. And the staff at Parmorama insisted I go next door and get a pint from Elderbeer. And honestly, I could have stayed here the whole entire time, but I had some places in Atune that I had to go to, namely Trillions Rock Bar. If you are a hard rock and metalhead, you will love this place. I'm pretty sure I would have enjoyed it even more if I had come on a night where there was live music. Would have got my head banger on, even though I'm in my 30s and it probably would have caused some serious damage. That's the reason I sing country and not pop punk anymore. Now, it must have been kind of an off time in Newcastle because I guess university wasn't in and it was a very cold and wet day, and I guess it wasn't as poppin' as I was expecting it to be. However, it was a Thursday, so that probably had something to do with it as well. But y'all know me, that doesn't stop me from finding some trouble to get into.
Big ass statue.
I don't know what it is, but UK karaoke bars just hit different than US karaoke bars, mainly because everyone thinks they can sing, especially after a few pints, but I'll give you a little snippet of what I was getting into. Again, I got it muted for copyright reasons. If you want to see the rest of it of what this guy did record of me, as you can hear in the unmuted part, he just held up the phone and didn't hit the record button. But anyway, of what he did record, I have posted it to my music page, Spencer Joyce Music. You could go check that out, as well as a demo of a new song I'm working on called Unplugged. Y'all go let me know if I should record that. And while you're looking at all these Geordies that are having the time of their lives, y'all, this is a Thursday night in Newcastle. I need to come back on a weekend. I bet it would be 20 times more rowdy. In addition to Don't Look Back in Anger, I also did my Tennessee Whiskey, and I also did Hit Me Baby One More Time. And throughout the night, there was this one guy that was just buying me shot after shot, and I got a little messed up. I mean, I guess a lot messed up is probably the more correct term here. Y'all take a look for yourself and tell me what you think.
Is it a real Brit experience if it's not 1:20 a.m. and you're sitting out with a mixed kebab, drunk as trying to sober up so you can order a Bolt and go back to your place? It has to be part of the experience here. Am I right? Please let me know.
The final verdict of Newcastle is that it is a really fun area, and even on a slow night, if you can't find some trouble to get into, then that is your own damn fault. And this is going to be a common theme with the North here. Not only will the Geordies make sure you know where you're going, they will also let you know how to have a great time in this city. On my list currently, they are tied with Glasgow with the most down-to-earth fun people in the UK. And I say this, and we've got Liverpool and Manchester ahead of us.
It is day 11 of this UK vlog. I don't have a hangover, but it definitely took a little more time to sleep, but anyway, right now I'm straightening up this house, getting ready to leave, and then I'm gonna catch a train over to Liverpool. Yeah, I'm gonna miss this house. I mean, I think it's pretty much an average UK home, but at the same time, it's nice not having to sleep in a hostel for a little bit and actually having some furry friends here, even the ones that won't pet you, instead of you know, some weird characters. Not to say that I've encountered any. I've encountered some good folks, but it's a nice change of pace that I won't be able to experience until I get back. But let's just go through the day and get to Liverpool. I'm gonna miss you. I miss each and every one of you. Even this one still won't let me pet. Let me see. You gonna let me pet this time? Huh? Nope. Nope. What about now, Buffy? Huh? Still nothing. Hi, Maya. Hi, Maya. Yeah, you'll let me pet. You'll let me pet. All good. Hunter will let me pet, that's for sure. Buddy? Buddy? See? What's your problem, Buffy? Huh? Heck, even Cassie, sorry, Crystal, you know, let me pet. I don't know why I want to keep calling you Cassie. Well, because another dog I know is named Cassie, and you're a Crystal. So you can't even hear me. You wouldn't even know if I was anyway.
Unfortunately, my only Greg's letdown happened to be in the capital of Greg's, Newcastle. Y'all were hyping up this pizza, but really it's just average. Luckily, I had much better pizza in Liverpool. You'll see that in Monday's vlog. After that slight disappointment that I'm really not gonna spend too much energy on, I hopped the train and headed to the land of Lennon McCartney, another gem of the north, Liverpool.
So I've checked into my hostel and just going a little walking around the city until my buddy Steven is gonna pick me up and show me a lot of Beatles sights. Again, nobody warned me that Taylor Swift was in town. Can you not let me know these things? I don't pay attention to that shit. Careful what I say around Swifties, because they can get a little violent sometimes. Well, violent's probably not the right word, just passionate, maybe. Aside from all the, you know, Swifties, I can ignore that. I've walked down the street and there's like Irish bar after Irish bar after Irish bar, and man, it's one of the things that I grew to love out of my ex is a love of Irish bars, so I'm feeling at home already. Even if it weren't for all the Beatles stuff, you know? Just have some real talk here. Liverpool was on my list before Embrace the Suck 21 was even an idea. It comes from two things. One, it's one of the few positive memories I have of my dad. That's a whole other thing I probably won't talk about on here, but one of the best things he ever gave to me was this disc that you put in a computer and it popped out all of the Beatles catalog. And I fell in love with that, and also the first 2 CDs that I ever bought with my own money. I scrounged up all the allowance I had at age like 12 or 13, and there were 2 CDs that I bought. It was The Ultimate Hits by Garth Brooks and The Beatles 1. And no disrespect to Daniel, but getting him to do anything Beatle related is like pulling teeth, because he's the type that if you say that something is the greatest of all time, he immediately just doesn't want to check it out anymore because he can't form his own opinion about it. And no disrespect to that, you know, it's stuff with a lot of other things too, like Led Zeppelin. I mean, the fact that he was willing to do a reaction to Now and Then when it came out, like he understood the significance of that, so he knew that was great for the channel. And me knowing that was kind of like the cliffhanger of the Beatles story, to be able to experience that with him and with all of y'all meant the world to me. So, like, Liverpool, like I said, it was on my list before ETS 21 was even an idea. This was a big bucket list item for me, and I'm glad that because of all of y'all that I've been able to check it off of my bucket list. And not only is it the Beatles, but it's also, you know, the maritime history here and the Irish culture. I'm feeling home. I really do. I've only been here a couple hours, but it's just the vibe I'm getting. It's just the people I've talked to already are just super friendly, and already I've got someone that's gonna show me around, like, just friendly like that. I mean, this might be the leading candidate for places I would move if I did move to the UK, which, don't quote me on that. Let's not get too far ahead of ourselves, but I think I'm gonna enjoy myself here in Liverpool. I wish I had more than 2 days here, really 1.5, because tomorrow morning I'm gonna go off to Bolton and do all the Fred Dibnah stuff with buddy Adcrow from TikTok. So I've been looking forward to this for a very long time, and I'm glad I've been able to make it happen.
After hanging out at the docks a little bit more, I headed back up to the hostel and met Steven, and the next few clips are basically a Beatlemaniac's dream coming true. I'll let them speak for themselves.
There it is. Paul McCartney's signature. Penny Lane is in my ear.
They all sang out and hung out.
Yeah, yeah.
Penny Lane Bar. That's the old. That's the main. Well, that bus thing there. James Corden and Paul McCartney stood in that bus shelter over there.
Nice.
It's changed now.
Yeah,
it's changed now, but that's where they stood.
Yep, I recognize that. Yeah.
We're at Strawberry Fields. Yeah, we're on the Beatles tour. Liverpool. Yeah, you okay? Good, yeah, good. And how was work?
Let me take you down, 'cause I'm going to Strawberry Fields. Alright. Proud home of the McCartney family. Man. There it is, y'all. John Lennon's house. Having a little bit of work done at the moment, but let me see if I can get an angle there. Let me get out here. Jogging just like they are. Is that it? No, that's not it. That's someone else. There we go. Look at that.
This is the stars of Matthew Street.
Okay.
It's bar.
Yeah.
It's still early, yeah. Later on,
Yeah.
it'll be absolutely rammed.
I believe that 100%. All right.
Unfortunately, I'm having to mute a lot of these due to copyright, but if you want to see the unedited, unmuted version of this, you can go to our Patreon. Link is down in the description. I am basically having the time of my life. I'm singing along, watching Scotland get their butt kicked. Y'all always reminded me about the Euros, but not about Taylor Swift. Fail. Anyway, big shout out to Steven for giving me the grand tour of all Beatle related things in Liverpool, and also for putting up with my bullshit, kind of like this. After Cavern Club, we went off to another bar, had one more pint, and then he had to take off early because the next day, he and his son were going to Manchester to see Liam Gallagher, a day before I was. But hey man, Steven, if you're watching this, I am forever indebted to you, my friend. If you need help hiding a body, I will be on the next plane over.
Yeah, shout out to Stephen B, man. He took me around this city, pointed out a lot of fun things, and some I can talk about, some I can't. But hey, it's 11:30 and the night's still young. Find what other trouble I can get into.
Thank you very much.
Alright, strike what I said earlier. I'm gonna be a good boy and get a nice takeaway and then call it a night because I don't want to have happen what happened with the whole Inverness thing. I want to actually get up and be able to get to the train station in time this time. So we're gonna end it there.
Welcome to day 12 of the UK vlog trip. Today, splitting our time between Bolton and Liverpool. Going up to meet my buddy Ad Crow and his husband. Basically gonna see all the sights that the legendary steeplejack Fred Dibnah made famous. Come back to Liverpool for some nightlife. I decided last night to be a not as bad boy. I still got a little bit of drink on, but decided I didn't want what happened with the whole Inverness thing to happen today, because Fred Dibnah has been good to us, or Zach Crow's been good to us too, so I gotta be a little bit responsible. Look, Mom, I made it to the train. I didn't party too hard last night, and I actually caught my train. Look at me. We're making progress here. As we look at some cool artwork here from the Bolton train station, I will say, before going to Bolton, you should at least know who Fred Dibnah is. You don't need to do 2.5 years of reactions like me and Daniel did, but if you're not looking at that chimney and not thinking about a short, black cap, glasses, northerner with a few pints in him climbing that thing to knock it down, what are you even doing with your life? Before we did a proper exploration of the Bolton area, I was getting pretty hungry, and I purposely didn't eat any breakfast because Ad Crow knew exactly where to take me to get...
That's so good.
Yeah. And I apparently, when we did try to make a full English, this had it didn't have the scaffolding on it. Yeah, and people were commenting like, "How did you get that?" Some Irish shop. Didn't know. Some Irish shop in Annapolis, Maryland. That's where.
Chimney's there.
Old chimney. Dibnah's playground. Oh yeah, just came out of that train station. The Red Rose of Lancashire, is that what it is?
That's the one.
That's it.
At certain points, they have it fully going and the steam going around the wheel and everything.
Wow. There he is. The myth, the man, the legend. Fred Dibnah. Steeplejack, Reverend Son of Bolton. In all his glory. Good on you, Fred. There he is, Fred Dibnah in all his glory. Shout out to Ad Crow. Go follow him on TikTok and all the other sites. I'll put all his links in down in the description, all right? If you want good, wholesome British content, that's your guy right there. Anything you want to say to the folks of ETS 21?
Oh yeah, wipe your toes, blow your nose. I can't remember them. What not wipe your toes? That doesn't make sense, does it?
I haven't said it in so long.
Embrace the suck.
Perfect. I can't take him anywhere. More of Fred's work right there. I wouldn't want to go up there, even after a few pints. And as per tradition of any American stumbling through the UK, you stumble upon a pub that's 3 times as old as your own country. The oldest cider house in the world. 4th oldest pub in England. Did I say it right?
Close enough.
Cider house.
It'll be better after a few pints.
All right.
Yeah, we'll keep the
Are you doing what you're doing this to...
The execution of James Stanley, the 7th Earl of Derby, at Churchgate, Bolton, Le Moor, Wednesday the 15th of October 1651.
Oh my goodness.
And we're in that pub.
Right there, this reflection, but you get what I'm saying here. Let's see the rest of this. Stuff for the vlog. I have a feeling that this is the part of England y'all were saying not to miss. The stuff that if I only stayed in London, I would miss out on it completely. There it is. One of Fred's chimneys.
Yeah, I wouldn't try.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that either. Not even after a few of those ciders. I wouldn't do that.
You've done this one for fun.
Yeah. Like I said, that's Dibnah's playground right there. Goodness gracious.
If there was a ladder, I might get as far up there and then I would freak out and need to come back down.
Train crash, Crook and Bolton, 16 of March, 1918.
Well done. So what's the 16th month?
Wow, look at that. Our old Dibnah.
It's so nice to live next to the river.
Yeah, it's peaceful. Yeah. That right there is where Fred Dibnah made the magic happen. Home of Dr. Fred Dibnah, NBA, Staplejack. Demolition expert, Reverend Son of Bolton.
It's strange seeing it like this. I've only seen it alive and everything on the documentary.
Right.
Perfect beer sponges. Lots of drills.
Sounds like my kind of party. PSA to all Americans. Yes, this is part of Britain. It's a big part of it, but it's not all of it. Go explore more of it. After exploring Smith Hills Hall a little bit, we tucked into a quick cup of tea. Me and Phil had a nice piece of chocolate cake, which was some of the best chocolate cake I've ever had. While this was all mighty fine, this is just small potatoes compared to the afternoon tea I had in the bath episode later this week, so be sure you're subscribed and you got your notification bell on, that way you don't miss that episode. Once Ad Crow and I found out that we both have backgrounds in working in grocery stores, he did what any British gentleman would do and took me to a British grocery store so that I could see the differences between US and UK grocery stores. Take a look. So this is the American section of a British supermarket. What the heck is all of this? Marshmallow mateys?
Hello to all my marshmallow mateys.
They got Reese's here, they got Hershey's.
Some melted Hershey's.
Melted, ugh.
Hershey syrup.
Not A-N-W, A-W.
But there was root beer here, it's gone. So we are opening up to root beer.
Yeah.
Just some
And they put in hot dogs and brine over here.
crispy onions.
Crispy onions and
Toast
Toastums. It's not Pop-Tarts.
The thing is, we do have Pop-Tarts. I don't know why they put that in the American section.
Yeah.
Jelly bellies.
Jelly bellies. And pumpkin.
Pumpkin. That's something that doesn't tend to be over here. I've noticed that.
Really?
Yeah, pumpkin, like if you want to make a pumpkin pie or something.
Yeah.
The barns in the UK are much higher hygiene quality.
Yeah.
We don't need to wash the eggs because the eggs are how they would be if you got them from a barn. So they're going to be brown because they've not been bleached.
Right.
And it keeps the coating on them. So the coating is what keeps them in good condition. So that stops them from going off. So they don't need to be put in the fridge.
That'll never happen in the States because we always wash them.
You don't need to wash them if they're in good, clean condition. If you went to a farm, you wouldn't have to wash them from the farm, would you?
No. Alright, so before I wrap up my day in Bolton, just want to tell you all about a little story. Here I'm at the station to catch my train back to Liverpool, and I go up to the vending machine to get a Pepsi out of there, and there's these three, very locals, very Bolton accents. One of them looks at me, is like, "Are you a crazy Scottish person?" At first I didn't know they were talking to me, and I was like, "Oh, are you talking to me?" And like, "Yeah." And then they realize my accent because I'm American. It's like, "Oh, what are you doing in America?" I said, "Fred Dibnah, of course." It's like, "Hey, this guy's cool." And it's a nice interaction, only in the UK. So anyway, I'm back here at the station waiting for my train back to Liverpool, which I've been saying that's quite delayed due to a fault at the level crossing, but that's alright. Liverpool nightlife doesn't start till later anyway. After getting back and laying down for a couple hours, I went to Baltic Market in the Baltic Triangle area of Liverpool. Turned out to be a great spot for people watching, for watching the Euros, and of course, the food. First vendor I went to was Spice Thai, and this proved once again the point that I've made several times throughout this vlog series, that Asian food in the UK just hits different than the Asian food in the US. Between this prawn pad thai and the duck gyoza, I was in heaven. Since Italy was playing at the Euros at
the time, I figured I'd get myself a nice pizza pie from Little Furnace in the market. And y'all, I am a huge fan of Neapolitan style pizza, and this delivered on every single level, from the cheese, the sauce, the dough, the pepperoni. Built the pizza size gap in my heart from that Greg's pizza. But what made this pizza even more special is that it was handcrafted by a subscriber of the channel. Big shout out to Joe for 1, coming up and introducing yourself. That was super cool. And for 2, making some of the best pizza pie I've had in my entire life. Since half of the female population of Liverpool was at Taylor Swift that night, I decided to go to Arcane's, an arcade located inside of the Brewery Works, and have a chilled night playing some old school arcade games and video games, and conserving both my energy and my money for Liam Gallagher in Manchester next day. Alright, I've decided to just go back to my hostel after Baltic Market and call it a night. 12:35, and I'm still awake for a couple reasons. 1, I want to save some money for Liam Gallagher tomorrow. 2, I don't know, just walking around after I did that arcade, I'm just realizing that I'm too old for the weekenders, like amateur hour. I walk through, Matthew Street where Cavern Club is, where all those bars are. And I'm just like, this is not the crowd that I want to be associated with. I mean, I've had plenty of nights this week, well, throughout this trip, I should say, that have ended up with bad hangovers, having to sneak out of a stranger's house. So not all of them have to end like that. I'd like to be able to enjoy tomorrow, have the hangover happen Monday night instead of tonight. Today was a great day. Spent it with Atcrow and his husband, doing all the Fred Dibnah Bolton stuff, and had my first random fan encounter. Shout out to Joe from Baltic Market, the pizza place. Made a really good pie, and appreciate you walking up and saying hello. That really meant a lot to me. I think I'm gonna wrap it up here. We've got the British music experience before we hop the train from Liverpool to Manchester, and some pints planned before heading off to see the man himself, Liam Gallagher. The whole reason that we're doing this whole trip. Day 13 of the UK trip. Today we're heading from Liverpool over to Manchester, meeting a couple subscribers over at the Victoria Station, and maybe grab a pint, or after that we're gonna go see the man himself, Liam Gallagher, at Co-op Live. This is the whole reason that this trip even happened, was definitely maybe 30. Before that, I'm gonna head to the British music experience and experience that before hopping on a train from Liverpool to Manchester. So here it is. I'm excited, man, really. Before we get too far, someone please confirm, is the northern slang for this sandwich a bap or a barm? Please let me know if I'm right or wrong. In the meantime, let's talk about the British music experience right by the water in Liverpool. As a huge music enthusiast, this was some of the best 17 pounds I ever spent. Obviously, they told me not to film in there, which is a good thing, but they did allow me to take pictures in there, so feel free to pause this video at any time and view the many pictures that I took during this exhibit. And I'm glad that they didn't allow me to film in there, because it goes along with my presentation style of vlogs, which is to present the information to you and leave it up to you to do the adult thing and go see it for yourself and form your own opinion about this stuff instead of relying on what I think about the whole thing. That's a very un-rock and roll way of going about it, letting someone else tell you how to think about something instead of forming your own opinion about it. I remember the Beamish episode, the big criticism I got was I was presenting the clips, but I wasn't saying anything about how I felt about them or any information. That's not my job. And all the rock legends that I'm checking out that encourage independent thought would be so disappointed in you. It's like, what did they even go through all that stuff for in the first place? Besides, why are you being so nosy? Why is it impossible as a content creator to not leave some things to the imagination? At least buy me dinner first before you start asking questions like that. That's all I'm saying. I really say all this because I love y'all and I want you to be the best version of you can be, and not thinking for yourself isn't it. Anyway, enough about that. How about my first Scotch egg? I'm a firm believer that these delicacies can be enjoyed anytime, anywhere, at any temperature, just like those sausage rolls from Borough Market. It's not really fair to criticize Liverpool for this, because kind of y'all's fault for not telling me that Taylor Swift was coming to Liverpool when I was coming to Liverpool. I put it up in Patreon and nobody gave me any warning of it. Part of the reason I decided to call it early last night, not really go out and do a lot of stuff, was because if I heard one more shitty cover band on Matthew Street play Love Story again, I was gonna lose my shit. I need Liam Gallagher. Bad, y'all. I'm hurting. Really learning this old British thing. Had another train cancellation due to fault of the train.
and I'm catching the next one at 14:28, and that's what I told my buddy that I'm meeting. Well, both of them I'm meeting at Manchester, Victoria. So half two. Yeah, I'm still not used to how y'all say like half two or quarter of two. We say it differently. I personally don't say it like that, but it's like meet me at 2:30. Okay, so 2:30, or meet me at 4:45. So 4:45. That's how I say it. Help me out with that.
Of course, to pass the time with that delayed train, I went to the Weatherspoons that's located at Liverpool Lime Street and saw this advertisement for their hotels. Somebody in the comments, please let me know. Have you been to one of them? And would you recommend I stay at one of them next time I go over? After an hour, I finally made it to Manchester, and these are just some clips. I'm gonna let them speak for themselves.
That was the arena of this.
By the way, if y'all don't want to be in it, just let me know. I could blur y'all's faces and stuff.
I'm not bothered about being in it. I just don't want to put my ugly ass face in front of that viewport.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I think it's about 400 or 500 years old, I think.
Wow. Older than my own country.
Painted to look like to match Shakespeare down the palace.
Yeah. Very Shakespearean.
Well, the Shakespeare pub.
You want to get one here?
Sure, yeah. Wow, oldest one in Manchester. Man, look at this place. It's an actual living room in a pub.
Okay, this is my collection. This is a shop that sells them, and this is the actual size of what they are.
Oh,
if
wow.
You have the room. You
Yeah,
can make
yeah.
Stuff like this.
Yeah.
And then that part of the railway closed down, and it's now
Oh, it's a venue. Yeah, G-Max. Yeah. 97 Oasis. Probably one of the best things we've checked out on the channel.
Big shout out to both Chris and Laz for giving me a nice walking tour of Manchester on the way to my hostel and just making sure I got there all right. This just goes to prove that Northerners are the type that'll give you the shirt off of their backs. Really, they do it better up in the north. Also, big shout out to YHA Hostel in Manchester for having the most picturesque setting for a hostel that you could ever ask for. Besides being a great hostel, this was just great to walk to and from when getting your day started or ended.
Heading off to Etihad campus. Actually, Co-op Live. Had a good day with buddies Chris and Laz. Had a few pints, had a few other things. I'm heading off to Liam Gallagher now. Come on, let's go. I think everybody's on here for the same place. Liam Gallagher.
Liam.
It's already started.
This was my first experience on the Manchester tram. All Mancunians that are watching this, please comment below. What's your favorite stop on the tram, and what is your not so favorite stop on the tram? I've heard good and bad things from a lot of the stops on here, but I want to hear from y'all directly.
I'm in. The whole reason we came here. I'm in.
Now, I heard that Co-op Live had a few false starts in terms of getting open because of some technical issues, but it seemed that all those problems were fixed, and this had to be one of the most tricked out venues I've seen due to the amenities that they had and, of course, the sound, which we'll get to in a second. But this right here is an example of the UK living in the 31st century. The ability to pour your own pint.
Oh, you could pour your own pint in this country. I'm never gonna leave. Y'all have me now. Granted, this was £8.95, but still, I love the convenience. I'm staying here.
And I'm not even going to tell you how much I paid for this hot dog here. All I'll say is it was not worth the price. Do the smart thing. Eat before you get here. Again, earlier in this video, I told you I don't like telling you how to think, but this is a case where I did something so you don't have to, and this is just common sense. Enough about my food adventures. I know y'all want to see some live music, so here we go.
Reminds me of the side of home. We're sweating in the breezy air. I promise that I'll see you more.
Also, £9 for a pint. That's highway robbery. Shout out to both Chris and Laz for getting me a little toasted beforehand. Saved me a little bit of money. Y'all the best crowd ever. Don't y'all forget that.
just right in front of me.
Unfortunately, I have to mute a lot of these clips due to copyright, but if you want to see the full unmuted clips, there is the full raw footage up on our Patreon. Link is down in the description.
Get in there! Get in there! I fucking love Alexa! We up! We up! We up! We up! We up! We up! Woo! We up! Oh my God! Yeah! Damn. That might be one of the best gigs I've ever been to. Holy shit. Y'all know how to do it over here. Maybe you're the same as me. We'll see things I'll never see. You and I are gonna live forever. Woo!
I'm back at the hostel and my voice is pretty much gone and I'm near some running water. It's a very picturesque place where I have a hostel. I got the magic of twinkle fingies to remove all that background noise like that. See? Anyway, Liam Gallagher in Manchester. That was amazing. Look, all the stuff that we checked out through ETS21 was just amplified by a million times with that. Having Liam and Bonehead on stage together is an amazing thing. Liam didn't just do the songs that he sung on during the Definitely Maybe days. He also did, Half the World Away, which was amazing. Noel was, he was and was not missed because they still got the sound right, but look, Definitely Maybe is one of the greatest albums of 90s rock and roll, of all time rock and roll. Like, come on. There's always the rumors of them getting back together, and this was definitely a time where it needed to happen, but I had a great time. And not only, did he play, Half the World Away, but also played some other B-sides and a demo, which I know Noel did Lock All the Doors with High Flying Birds, but that was initially a demo during the Definitely Maybe days, and Liam did it, and man, it was awesome. And of course the bangers, Rock and Roll Star, Cigarettes and Alcohol, Slide Away with him doing the Don't Know, Don't Care, All I Know Is You Can Take Me There, and Columbia with that little rap part or whatever that was awesome. No disrespect to when I went to go see Liam with John Squire in New York City, but that shit
all over that New York gig. But all the same, I actually had a couple of people recognize me. Shout out to Chris with a K, recognized me in the crowd, and Tony as I was walking back to the tram. Thank you for approaching me and just being awesome. Shout out to Campbell, some 18-year-old Scott that definitely was not feeling like everybody else was during the Euros currently, and yeah, I'll go with you on that one. It was coming home tonight, but oh, it's funny. Liam asked the crowd, he's like, "What's the England game score?" But it's 4-2. It's 1-0. Oh, it's 6-7. No, it's 1-0. That was funny. He's a hell of a front man and a great man at the people. I will say there were a few cute women in front of me that right before the gig started, they heard my American accent, and I remember they were from Stoke-on-Trent, I believe is where they was, and I wanted to, get their names and party with them more, but they exited way before I could. So to those, if you're watching this, I promise I'm a good man. I shouldn't be using my channel for that. I'm sorry. I'm still, as y'all say, buzzing from that gig. My God, seeing Liam Gallagher in Manchester, that should be on anybody's bucket list. No matter if he's doing a new record or a tribute to an Oasis record, whatever he's doing, if you have the opportunity to go see Liam Gallagher in Manchester, book your tickets yesterday. Running out of energy, I'm out of voice. I'm gonna crawl into my bed in my hostel, and then tomorrow we're going to explore more of Manchester. I've got football museum, some shopping market, and I'll put the name right up there on the screen. I've been dissuaded from doing the Curry Mile because apparently it's not as good as if someone's got only 2 days. There's better options. So we'll get Indian tomorrow.
Man, I really couldn't ask for a more picturesque place to have a hostel. It's like right here on the waters where all these boats here. When we checked out the boat that guy built, these river boats, the focal point of that. I swear, when I make it big, I'm gonna have one of these. Look prettier than this one, obviously, but yeah. Couldn't ask for a better, more picturesque place. Welcome to day 14 of the UK Vlog 2024. We're in Manchester today for an actual day around. Yesterday, the main focus was the Liam Gallagher gig, and I don't know if y'all can tell by my voice. I can barely talk right now. Just belting out everything from Definitely Maybe, from Rock and Roll Star to Cigarettes and Alcohol to Slide Away to Half the World Away and Lock All the Doors, things like that. So anyway, a few things on the agenda include Affleck's Football Museum, some Indian. I've been dissuaded away from the Curry Mile because apparently it's gone downhill a bit and it's kind of out of the way of town. Go explore Manchester. How about that? By the way, for context, it is 11:15 in the morning and I am just now getting my day started. The pints that were had and poured all over my face, over me, and the jumping around and the singing about, it tired me out. But hey, we still got half a day. We'll make the most of it.
While we look at some beautiful Manchester architecture, I don't know who needs to hear this, but I am not in the UK currently. These were recorded a month ago, and we put videos out on YouTube and on Instagram and on Patreon detailing when I would be there and when I got back. Come on, guys, do better. Oh, I'm a little hangry. Let's snap out of that by going to Fat Pat's. This is a viral food spot that specializes in American-style Philly cheesesteaks and hot honey chicken sandwiches. It was also a recommendation from Chris, who you saw yesterday. Usually I'm not a fan of eating stuff that I can get from home in another country, but if it's from a local Mancunian, I'm gonna go for it, and I am glad I did. The bread, you could tell that was baked in-house, and the steak was flavorful and juicy. The cheese was perfect. The addition of crispy onions, I'm a big fan of that. Seems a lot of burger and sandwich shops do that to a lot of American-style burgers in the UK. Why we don't do that in the US, I have no idea, but hey, they even got the crinkle-cut fries correct. Fat Pat's, you get a 10 out of 10 from this American. You did your research.
I know people are gonna come at me in the comments like, oh, you're getting stuff that you can get at home in the UK. Well, sometimes I want to see if y'all can compete with what we do, and my God, this stuff is a game changer. Like crispy onions on a Philly cheesesteak. I thought to do that. Hey, y'all got some game, UK.
All right, I have ventured out. Got some stuff to cure this hangover from last night, including more pints, greasy American-style food. Fat Pats, y'all was delicious. Y'all know how to do American-style stuff. Now I'm gonna take this back, put it in my bag, have it for breakfast tomorrow, then head off to the National Football Museum, go to Affleck's, Dishoom, and I'll probably call it after that. I'm extremely paranoid about, am I gonna drink too much and then miss my train for the next day? I'm not having a repeat of what happened with Inverness. I found it. That Hoover thing that y'all was talking about in that one video we did.
Henry Hoover. That's who I was trying to remember the name of.
After exchanging niceties with Henry and putting my sandwich away, I hopped on the tram and headed down to the National Football Museum. They did allow me to film in there, however, I'm not gonna give you everything because I don't want to spoil it for you, and I actually do want to encourage you to go down and visit it yourself, and again, form your own opinion of this whole museum. I'd say this was a very well put together museum, and for newbies like myself and seasoned fans of any club from any championship league, I was surprised how many were represented. Even the MLS was represented there. That shocked me. There are 3 levels there. One was dedicated to a lot of the history, another one was dedicated to a few interactive things, and the third one, I can't remember exactly what it was without Googling it. That's why I put the links in the description. And I'm sorry, England. It was never coming home. I'm not sure if this is exclusive to the National Football Museum, but this 9-minute doc about what football is like, a beautiful game, recommended to anybody that's either a long-time football fan or is just getting into it, just trying to understand the game. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you me as a football commentator.
Hello, welcome to this special National Football Museum edition of Match of the Day. We've got a treat in store for you today, a classic match with a very special commentary. And this is who we had in the studio. Hello there. It was a commentary I'll never forget. Let's see what you think.
Thanks, Gary, and welcome to the Carrow Road for this first division match between Norwich City and Liverpool. We pick up the action at 3-2 to Liverpool. Downs, marked by Case. Norwich City really working well together on this one. Bond, Ryan, Fassau. Oh, what a goal! Oh, what a magnificent goal. Ray Clemens had no chance of reaching that one. And the manager wants his defenders to get back. The crowd are loving this. Really sweet turn by the tall man, curling up away from the keeper's right hand to make it 3-3. That has to be match of the day, goal of the season. Time to head back to the studio. So Gary, how did I do?
That wasn't too bad for a first attempt, was it? A couple of things to improve on, but for your first game, well done. Well, that's all from me. Thanks for watching this special National Football Museum Match of the Day Commentator Challenge, and I hope we'll see you again very soon.
I totally messed that up big time. I definitely don't think I have a career as a sports commentator, or at least I need to get more familiar with the game before I try that. Look at that. The sun is out. I've been told that I brought the good weather with me from America, so Manchester, you're welcome. Also should mention I had another fan encounter up at the football museum. Shout out to Lars from Germany. Said they saw me at the gig, Liam Gallagher gig last night, and I guess missed a connection. I'm assuming this is the exact opposite of going to the football museum. It's going to Affleck's. This had to be like the youth culture center of Manchester. All these shops with t-shirts with fun designs on them and vintage clothing and vinyl records, a CBD shop, and even a Japanese cafe and a couple other cafes too that I didn't go into, but I did go into this Thai massage place to do a little self-care. Not that kind of massage place. Don't get any ideas. Affleck shop, that's pretty cool. Just 2 problems. 1, I'm on a budget from America, and 2, feel really out of place there. Felt like an old fish out of water there. Not to say I wouldn't buy something there or go there again, just maybe when I do an individual trip to Manchester and I have like a week there, you know what I'm saying? Side note, I walked through Piccadilly Gardens and felt 100% safe there. I don't know what we're talking about when it comes to avoiding that place. I guess don't go there at night. Y'all let me know. All right, we're at Dishoom.
This is gonna be our only Indian of the whole trip. Meant to go to this place in London, but didn't really have a lot of time to do it. And a lot of people, in fact, who I was talking to yesterday, Chris, said the Curry Mile has gone downhill quite a lot, so I want to go with a sure thing here. Evan Edinger suggested this one in his video about things tourists do in London or things like that. So, Evan, if this is bad, this is on you.
What you're about to witness is me discovering fancy dining in the UK and a bunch of foodgasms. So if that's not your thing, you might want to fast forward to the end.
So a couple of things I'm noticing about US versus UK, going out to a nice restaurant. If you want water, typically they'll just give you a full bottle of still water, which is what I've got. And you have to specify still versus sparkling water, which I like sparkling water, but I figured I'd just go with still today. With silverware, you know, spoons, knives, forks, they give it to you rolled up in one of these napkins. They don't just have it right there at the table. That's something else that's different. I asked, because I'm getting chicken tikka and a few other curry and garlic naan. I asked if it comes with rice or do I have to order that separate, and she said, my waiter said I have to order that separate. So that's another thing, is that you're not going to get a lot of stuff that comes with stuff already. Just be careful and look at that before you assume that stuff comes with stuff. In America, it's a lot of freebies. Here in UK, not so much. Holy shit, I'm stuffed. Oh, food-wise, that's the highlight of this whole trip. Oh my god. I knew I had to get good Indian, and I found it. I found great Indian. Damn. Why can't we have good Indian in the States? Someone please tell me. Then again, I've heard there's not good Mexican here, so kind of evens out. By the way, it better have been good. It was, you know, 78 pounds. That's what I spent, just under 78. Thanks for watching these videos. Thanks for sitting through all those ads and all Patreon and all the donations. Really appreciate that. Love y'all. Y'all are the best. So, did you know that if you and your buddy are doing a high five, if you look at each other's elbow, you will make contact every single time? Yeah, just look at my elbow. See? Do it multiple times.
There you go.
See?
That's great, yeah.
See, look at that. One more time.
Hey.
There you go. Welcome to day 15 of the UK vlog. I am heading out of Manchester now. I just checked out of my hostel and I'm heading off to Bath. I've got an afternoon tea booked out for the same place that both Jane Austen and Charles Dickens. Sorry, it's early. I haven't had anything yet. I've got that booked out and then gonna explore a little more Bath. Not really have an agenda for that day. All these other days I've usually had something I want to do. Really, I'm just gonna find whatever trouble I can get into. I don't know if there's as much trouble in Bath as there is in places like Manchester or Liverpool or Newcastle, but hey, anyway, if you're new here, my name's Spencer. I am 50% of Embrace the Suck 21. Unfortunately, Daniel couldn't be with me. He has family obligations, but he's given me my blessing to do this trip anyway, so much love to him. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button, drop a like on the video. Let's go to Bath, shall we? I'm thinking that this train ride from Manchester to Bath has to be a contender for the second longest train ride of the entire trip. The first one being London to Glasgow. I'm thinking this train ride was up there with London to Swansea, Newcastle to Liverpool, Manchester to Bath. Y'all let me know. Which one do y'all think was the longest? First impressions of Bath. More Harry Potter-y, I'd say. More stereotypical British that most Americans think about when they think of Britain. All the stereotypes. More BBC English as opposed to northern accents. But then again, we're in the south of Britain, so that makes sense. The whole town apparently is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, so I'm just gonna walk around and see a bunch of historical stuff.
Here's where my afternoon tea is happening. And yet I'm a couple hours early. Yeah, a lot of these shots are just gonna be me pointing out all the architecture here. This is definitely winning the award of most beautiful place I've visited during this trip. Man, this is some Bridgerton shit right here. I haven't even watched that show.
It was at this point that my man Lewis was right outside the Roman Bats and informed me that if I did not visit the Roman Bats, I would not be allowed back in the country next time. So that's what I did. Shout out Lewis. Thanks, buddy. You're a gentleman and a scholar. Now I present to you my trip into the Roman Bats, an experience that I shall not mutilate with my words and allow it to speak for itself.
Roman visitors would have been amazed by this icing.
46 degrees Celsius, y'all. So if the Festivus episode of Seinfeld was made today, these would be the airing of grievances. And Frank Costanza would be throwing all the grievances into the water. I got a little problems with you people, and now you're gonna hear about them to the gods. You know, to dip my toes into that, but it's a UNESCO site, so I can't. Luckily, I booked a spa for tonight, so I'll be alright. Before anybody asks, yes, I do quite think of the Romans a lot. Can't remember if it's the Holy Roman Empire or the Roman Empire, but yes. In all seriousness, this is really cool, really hearing all the history of this place, little facts every now and then. I wish I could remember each and every single one of them, but it's really humbling is what it is. Just a quick reminder that my story is not significant. I'm just standing on the shoulders of giants here. Word to the wise, anybody that's trying to get a picture with them and, you know, the bats and the cathedral in, you're gonna have a tough time because there's not a lot of light in this area. So maybe come at an earlier time when the sun is at a different angle. I don't know. I tried taking a couple's picture and it was not working out. And these are quite some claims here that this bath water can cure pretty much anything. Well, I'll be the judge of that. Bottoms up. It's quite minerally. That better work. Considering healthcare in my country, I'll do anything. By the way, I'll get out of people's way here. First time at a Marks and Spencer. I haven't really been doing any first time at a certain store this year, because pretty much the same. And Market Spencer's, I'd say it's basically Target. And I think obviously they didn't film in there because why would I? Store's a store's a store.
Whereas the lighter it is, the more power.
Another thing about just walking around this country, I'm a few stops from my hostel and I'm just passing by this big old cathedral, probably older than my entire country. Just a normal thing in this country. One thing I've noticed, I stick out like a sore thumb here. Not because I'm American, but it's because I've been told that I look Northern and Scottish from two different people. So my attempt to blend in has made me stick out even more. Speaking of sticking out even more, I now present to you, ladies and gentlemen and others watching, the most posh thing I did the entire trip. That was go to Pump Room at the Roman Bats and have an afternoon tea. The subject of an afternoon tea definitely divided our audience when I was initially asking about things to do, places to go. Answers range from nobody does this at all to it's an essential part of British culture, i.e. it wasn't very helpful at all. So I'm just gonna have to find out for myself. This is 100% the most posh thing I have done this entire trip. Fancy schmancy afternoon tea, the same place that Charles Dickens and Jane Austen frequented in their time. I just know Daniel would be very out of place here. He'd be cracking a joke. I mean, we got people here speaking the Queen's English, and it's like... it's like an episode of Bridgerton right now. I can tidy up sometimes. I mean, I'm not fancy right now, but at least I'm not in, you know, shorts. That was quite a nice experience, the afternoon tea thing. I mean, I enjoyed myself, but I don't know, this didn't seem like a lot of food for what ended up being like 52.5 pounds. Not gonna fill me up. It's more for the experience, and two authors that one was the bane of my existence senior year of high school, and the other one, my favorite version of my Christmas carols, the Muppet one. I think afternoon tea is something that you do once and then just to say you did it. I don't envision myself doing afternoon tea again when I come back over here, unless someone takes me to a better place. Is there a better place for afternoon tea? Let me know. My next stop is Thermae Bath Spa. They have a strict no phones policy in there, so you won't get to see me in there or anything inside there, which I think some of y'all are okay with because you're probably still traumatized from that one part of the Newcastle video. So see you on the other side. Man, that's exactly what the doctor ordered. You could say I took a bath in Bath. After that very euphoric bath and everything else at the spa, I came to Taikun to evilly plot a trip to Thailand. Have some spicy Thai food and another pint. Quickly, cool people, go subscribe to my vlog channel, Spencer Joyce's World, over on YouTube and TikTok before all the virgins make nasty comments about how I'm abandoning reaction content. So, a question I've gotten a lot through Instagram DMs, just keeping everybody up to date with what's going on with the trip, is do you feel lonely? And the short answer to that is yes and no. And I say yes because obviously I'm alone, traveling through a country I've never been through all by myself. I don't have a camera guy following me around. I
I don't have a partner to travel with, whether through friendship or romantic or business. There have been a couple times where I have felt lonely, but at the same time, no. And there's two parts to that. One, obviously, all y'all who's been watching, and through the Instagram DMs and through people that I've known from the channel for quite some time, and I've been able to literally meet up with them. And two, and this is the bigger one, I am very comfortable with who I am. I know who I am. I'm not trying to be anybody other than me. And I'm comfortable with myself. Granted, there's still some demons to sort out, but for the most part, I feel comfortable with myself. I know at the end of the day, I am all I'm gonna have left. That's why I'm so grateful for Daniel and Nana and everyone else who just giving me the blessing to come do this on my own. I'm at a point in my life where the people who I love are just not in a place that they can just get up and go like I can. I mean, like Nana, she also has traveled quite a bit through Europe and loved it, but she turns 81 this year and just really doesn't have the ability to walk around like I am. And Daniel, he's got family. His son is just not at the point where he could just up and leave like I can. And my mom and my brother and friends in my life not capable of traveling. There's a couple of reasons that factor into that, but I know that if I want to do something, I want to explore something, or even just, you know, go down to the corner store and go get a beer or ice cream or something, I gotta go do it on my own. I don't have a lot of patience. If I want to make something happen, I'll make it happen. I'm not gonna wait on anybody. It's a bit long-winded, but hopefully that answers your question. But anyway, I'm gonna head back to my hostel to Buckmore Park tomorrow. Day 16, the final day of the UK vlog. Today's only gonna have one little thing. Going over to Chatham and gonna go visit Buckmore Park, place where F1 greats like Lewis Hamilton, Jenson Button, Lando Norris all cut their teeth. It's not gonna be much going on in this vlog, so probably might just lump it in with my journey home. But man, I don't want my time in this country to end. I'm having so much fun around here. Let's just take you through my final hours here in Bath, and then over to Buckmore Park, and then to the airport. I will say also that I chose to, not really party too much last night because I wanted to have a chance of doing decently at that go-karting place. I've been drinking a lot of pints and eating a lot of not so healthy food, but I have been walking a lot. I've been using my legs a lot, so hopefully all that'll even out. I'm probably gonna suck. So I also decided against going to Silverstone today because my booking was so early in the morning and I felt my energy just kind of going away, and I really wanted my energy to go towards, Buckmore Park. I also had the task of earlier today finding Monster Munch for my mom. I don't know where she found it, but she likes it, so I've got that in my rucksack, along with Nana's Maryland cookies, Daniel's pint glass, Holly's chocolate, and Alexander's Paddington Bear. That's all in here, and I basically decided, what do I need to travel with? What do I not need to travel with? Some clothes I don't care about are now in a garbage can somewhere here in Bath, along with a few toiletries. Traveling light now. My back is finally relieved. That in addition to the Thai massage I got in Manchester at Affleck's. Not that kind. Don't get started with me. And also the spa bath that I went to. That's some good self-care. Plus all the cheap pints at Weatherspoons. UK, you've turned me on to self-care. The many things I love about this country. There's a Starbucks right there. But they sell cider. This is amazing. Only one though. We are doing some go-karting later. Not gonna get wasted before that. They're not gonna let me do it.
Usually during this time, I dub over and tell you what I was thinking during that time, but I've realized that I really haven't done that for any train clips throughout this entire series. So finally, I'm gonna let the train clips speak for themselves. Plus, it's a little early to get sentimental in the video, huh?
Yeah, I have gone through 4 changes of trains. Just trying to keep up all of them. It's just making my mind just go places. But anyway, get an Uber and head over to Buckmore Park.
So obviously, I am super early right now, and I am just waiting for my turn. It is, what time is it now? 4:42. I have an hour until I'm supposed to meet up for the safety meeting, which That's another stark difference between US and UK karting tracks, especially like I've been places like Trackhouse Motorplex and Morrisville, North Carolina, and a couple other places. The safety meeting is probably a lot longer, and there's a longer waiver you gotta sign in order to come do these karts. So that's another big difference. But hey, if this place is good enough for people like Lewis Hamilton, Jenson Button, and Lando Norris, it's good enough for me. Unfortunately, I didn't have any NASCAR stuff to contrast with all the people in F1 get-ups right now. Plus, that Paperboy hat definitely made me stick out like a sore thumb. Thanks for the heads up, guys.
Oh my god. I'm so glad I didn't film that, because I got my ass kicked. About 5 minutes in to a 30-minute session, bunch of show-offs. I couldn't do it. My middle body was just tensing up. I'm too old and fat to be doing this. Karting is a young man's sport and young woman's sport. I saw a lot of females in there doing the same thing. That's pretty cool. Too many pints, too much Greg's. I couldn't do it. The perfect activity to do, by the way, before you get on a plane to go back to the United States. I want to say about more work. Y'all are a much more thorough and more high-class facility than other American professional karting places. You got an actual snack bar that works, and you're more thorough with the pre-race warnings and there's actual systems and, you know, actual professional racing. So A+ on all that.
I present to you the results of this race to show you who won and how badly I did. The fact that I came 11th out of 18 karts absolutely boggles my mind. How did my fat ass achieve that? One thing's for certain, I'm glad I chose reaction YouTuber, travel vlogger, food reviewer, and independent musician as careers over being a race car driver. Now, I had a little time to kill before my train takes off, so I went down to the local Weatherspoons and got me a pint. And first of all, they checked my ID for the first time this entire trip. I'm like, wow, it takes me coming to Chatham to get ID'd? Okay. And second of all, they're like, oh, you're American. Yeah, well, what are you doing here? Like, nobody comes to this shithole. His words, not mine. And I said, yeah, the only reason I came here is because Buckmore Park is like right down the road. And yeah, it reminds me a lot of Baltimore. I don't know if they actually knew what I was talking about, but I'll let them figure it out. Y'all let me know. Is Chatham like that? Airport. Usually other American React YouTubers would take this moment to share their final thoughts and kind of sign off on their adventure, but if you'll allow me just a little bit of time to get through customs and to the terminal, I think I know a better place to end this. Just bear with me on this one. I am fully regretting that decision because my body was starting to betray me big time, and I made the rookie mistake of getting to the airport way too early. I probably could have gotten a hotel at this point just to recover for a little bit, but rookie mistake, didn't do that. Here's the aftermath of my terrible decision. All right, it's 10:40 p.m., so 12 hours before the flight even boards. So rookie travel mistake of trying to get there early, and the person checking my passport and my boarding pass said, dude, you're way too early. So just gonna walk around Stansted Airport and see what I could find. I know the Weatherspoons is not open until 4 a.m. That was gonna be where I was going to give my final thoughts, but unfortunately not. There it is, Weatherspoons. Well, they just announced my gate, so I'm gonna head there, and I guess the UK trip's over. And I don't want to give y'all a final thought right now, simply because I've been sick as a dog ever since I got to the airport. I think it has something to do with the fact that I
had about a hay fever, and I did a lot of cardio with that go-karting thing, and the hay fever just kind of all caught up to me, and now I've got a head cold, so my mind is just not in the right place right now to give you a full wrap-up of how I felt about this whole trip. So I'll give that to you a bit later. Enjoy this montage of me getting back.
Whoever I was sitting next to on the Play Airlines to both Iceland and to Baltimore, I sincerely apologize because I was coughing up a lung and sneezing like it was no tomorrow. Also, I'm the dumbass that didn't have enough money to buy another pair of headphones so I could listen to something on Spotify or watch something on Netflix, so I unintentionally raw dogged both of the flights, and I gotta say, not too bad, especially considering I wasted all that money on pints, food, women, and experiences. And the rest I just wasted.
Maryland heat, humidity, the smell of marijuana smoke. I'm home. And no wonder Baltimore public transit system's so shit. The guy pretty much just let me get on because my contactless wasn't working and I don't know where I'm going. Trying to find my hotel. I think I put the wrong address in, but it's just what you want with a cold and it's so hot right now. Oh, I miss the UK weather. I never thought I would say that. Officially back in the United States. I'm gonna lay here, clear out my head cold, and then sleep off the jet lag, and then Captain Amtrak tomorrow. I'll lump it all in with the final video. Not leaving y'all just yet. Gotta compare US and UK trains, and also UK and US bus systems. Y'all got it so good over there. The card machine didn't even work, and they just let me in. No wonder Maryland state government's so inept. I mean, my ex is part of it, so there you go. But anyway, I may edit that part out. For a job well done, I got myself a pizza and a big old 2-liter of Mountain Dew, and I'm gonna finish it all off. And nobody can say, put in a good 2.5 weeks of work. Although it really didn't feel like work. It's like hanging out with your buddies, you know?
In this next segment, I was extremely tired. I had almost crapped my pants earlier, and I was fuming from the fact that I had to walk and I couldn't use public transportation because it was down at the moment. So I just came back from the UK for 2.5 weeks, and I am starting to really notice some big differences between US and UK, and I'm pretty sure the rest of Europe in terms of public roads, public transit. So I had to get up early this morning in order to catch a commuter train to the main train station in Washington, D.C. to go get my Amtrak. And this is all because I don't get paid until like 11 or 1 p.m. local time. So I'm having to walk all the way from my hotel to commuter train, MARC train here in the D.C. metro area, Maryland and Virginia. I'm just noticing how bad the buses are. There's no real commuter train from city to city. It's really sad. Fact is, our government won't do anything about it because both political parties are in with the car industry, which keeps it so that you pretty much still have to drive in this country. I really like the fact that the UK was very walkable, that the trains were reliable, the buses were reliable as well. But the only national rail service we have in the US is Amtrak, and that can be hit or miss because all the rail lines are owned by the freight train companies, and the freight train companies have priority. If there's a Union Pacific or a Norfolk Southern train coming and an Amtrak train coming, freight train gets the priority, so the Amtrak has to pull over and wait for that freight line to pass. Not like that in other countries where they actually give a shit about their people. Who would have thought that making something good for everybody was a good thing? That's why our country is the only one that doesn't really have a nationalized healthcare service, because it's socialism, individual freedom. I'll give credit where credit is due. This BWI trail is very nice. Good on you, state of Maryland, for doing that. But things like this are few and far between. Or maybe I just haven't seen them in big cities because I live in a very rural area. You pretty much have to drive. It's not negotiable. Maybe I'm just being a little too quick to judge. Maybe there are cities that are actually making an effort to make it for people who don't own cars, make life a little bit easier. So let me know. Am I overreacting here?
04, en route to Baltimore with intermediate stops. Passengers should proceed to track 1. Thank you for...
Say, there's one thing I am really missing at
train stations in the US that they have in the UK. Hubs. The fact that there's like a Wetherspoons at every single train station in the UK, I really like that, especially if you had a train cancellation. You can just pop into Wetherspoons. You don't even have to open up a tab. You just tap your card, you got a pint in your hand, and it's quite cheap. This is a Nuno pizzeria, and I mean, you get good food, and there is a bar in there, but it's 8 in the morning, and obviously it's not open. But then again, Wetherspoons don't open until 9, so there's that as well. I'm just saying I really miss that. That's really cool. Also add to the fact that there's not as many trains that run to and from where you need to go because it's such a big country and our rail system sucks compared to other countries. For instance, I've got the one train Amtrak going from Union Station to Greensboro. If I miss that, I'm shit out of luck and I gotta wait till the next day. That's what I need. The 79 Carolinian to Charlotte, delayed. And y'all say that delays with trains with y'all is bad. It's even worse here in this country. My train's delayed back to Greensboro, and they're not giving me an update as to when it's going to get here, which is really annoying, especially since I've spent 2.5 weeks in a place that trains are amazing, and they'll give you a reason why it was delayed, and it's very easy to get your money back. Usually, you can get the next train that is going to where you're going. That would be nice, but there's not as many trains that go through the States. Especially since your only option really for passenger trains is Amtrak. I'm just waiting around, trying to see if I have time to go get a pint. But you won't believe who I ran into. I ran into my cousin Lauren and my great uncle Billy, who are also exploring DC at that time, so shout out to them. What are the odds? Okay, update, that was only delayed by 8 minutes. Made it seem like it was gonna be a lot longer, but hey, considering it's Amtrak, that's not too bad. So, we leaving. We gonna get back to North Carolina tonight.
Yeah, so my plan to film on that train was definitely thwarted by the fact that there was someone next to me. So here's a quick rundown on UK trains versus Amtrak, aka the only one. First of all, the seats, which are a hell of a lot bigger, can fit the type of woman that I like. Winky wink. Unfortunately, the trains are a lot louder. There is not as much etiquette on US trains as there are on UK trains. UK trains are nice and quiet, which I really like. For food and drink on US trains, there's a dedicated dining cart that you have to get up out of your seat and go to if you want food and drink. But there's plenty of hot food and cold food, and hot drinks and cold drinks, both alcoholic and non-alcoholic. But I like the fact that the UK has a trolley that comes around and all that goodness can come to you instead of you having to go to it. Like I said earlier, US trains have a more tendency to be delayed than UK trains, and it's a lot harder to get your money back if the train is delayed or canceled. Whereas the UK, 15 minutes delayed and you can get your money back, and you could get on the next train that's going to where you need to go. Helps that there's actually more trains that run on the same route during a day in the UK than there are in the US. Most of the time, there's only 1 or 2 trains that run a certain route during a day. The exception, I think, is the Washington, D.C. to Boston corridor. There you go, some useful information right as we wrap up this entire UK vlog journey. The long story short about the rest of the trip, we got to Greensboro around 8:30 p.m. Nana picked me up around 9. We went to Cookout, got us some all-the-way hot dogs and some milkshakes to help me feel back at home, and I slept for multiple hours before even looking at any of this footage. But my heart was full, and I have memories that will last a lifetime and a body of work that is the culmination of 3.5 years of reacting to British content and learning about a culture that never takes itself too seriously and will have your back if you have their back. Through this trip, I've made lifelong friends and checked off major bucket list items, cultivated from both my own life experience as a teenager and through the 3.5 years of reacting to British content with my best friend, who, it has to be said, I love you, bro. Thanks for having my back throughout this whole thing. Thanks for giving me your blessing to go do this UK trip on by myself. We'll get you over there one day. I can't imagine anybody else I'd want to do this crazy journey with. With all that in mind, and with the travel bug officially caught, I just got one more little thing to say that I recorded at the airport before we took off.
UK, thank you so much for being such a great host. I've done a lot. Met a lot of great people, took some things off my bucket list, drank a lot of pints, ate a lot of great food, and just overcame a lot of fears. I mean, y'all remember I said, some of y'all misconstrued what I said about I don't want to meet up with people. I did, but I was scared. I'm not anymore. In fact, I'm gonna leave y'all with the words of Harry Potter. I'm not going home. Not really.